Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L live. Mr. L live and that Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled.
What's up, people? It's your boy Leveled Head, back with another Live and Level Gamers podcast. My boy, Mr. L Live 08 couldn't make it tonight, but we got two worthy candidates here filling in for the show. We got my boy John Shaw from Shut the Blurt Up and Play.com. That's STFU and Play.com. What's up, John?
What's going on?
And we got the one, the master himself, the schoolum himself. We got Triforce Johnson in the house. What's up, Tri?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Thanks for having me back on again.
Oh, no problem. And we got a nice little podcast set up, a nice little discussion. We're going to go through 3 little topics. We're going to go a whole bunch of places with it. But before we go there, John, introduce yourself. Let them know what all you do, man, and what's going on with you.
Man, I'm just a gamer, man, that does journalistic stuff. I ain't gonna really call myself a journalist because I haven't done the things that other people have done to get in this thing. But I guess that's another topic though.
Okay.
But yeah, I started off on the Bit Bag. Torrance brought me on the Bit Bag, and I've been with him ever since then. Then switched over to STFU and Play, and then in between then I've had my own site, Full Effect Gaming, and that's kind of where I'm going back to now because Torrance said he's retiring, so.
Yeah.
So, and when he decides to come out of retirement, then I guess I'll start, back over at STFU and Play. So,
Okay. Now, you was one of the big names on Warzone too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did the Warzone podcast. I guess synonymous with arguing with hip hop every episode.
Now, can you, cause I meant to ask, I was trying to get Torrance on the podcast with both you guys, but Torrance turned me down. But anyway, he did tell me to give his thoughts on our third topic, and when we get there, I'll give Torrance Davis shouts out to him, his thoughts. But could you explain why Torrance stopped Warzone?
Well, I can't give his exact reasons, but I'm gonna make a joke or whatever because he found love like LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I think he got tired of it. He's been doing it for like 25 years.
Okay.
So I think I don't know if he's been doing that podcast for that long, but he's been doing it for I know he's been doing it ever since I've been there, so that's been about 5-6 years.
Okay.
So I think he got tired of it, and he just got it's pointless arguing and stuff on it. Well, I mean, even though that's what the Warzone was, but we had good debates on there, but now I think towards the end it kind of started just getting retarded.
Right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Debates weren't really going anywhere. It was just the same old debates every other week, whatever. It was either PC this or Sony this, it just got to the point where it wasn't
enjoyable no more.
Yeah, it wasn't enjoyable for him. He was just doing it just to do it. And so he decided to quit.
And for all y'all that don't know who Torrance Davis is, y'all need to Google him, dude. It's a cool dude. He's the one that's really been showing me love with what I'm doing here. And he's the one who really, in many ways, discovered Hip Hop Gamer, right?
Yeah. So
he the one that gave Hip Hop Gamer his start. He's a real cool dude, real passionate dude, real approachable dude. He don't act as if he actually don't walk like what he is. You know what I'm saying? He don't close you off. He actually is very approachable, and that's what I come to find fun of him, the fact that he's very approachable. But Triforce, let everybody know what's going on with you, man. I just, heard about the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, thank you. Pretty much, there's a side of me in gaming that a lot of people don't know, that I've been very ingrained in the esports realm. For those who don't understand what esports is, it's just today's moniker for competitive gaming. I've been a competitive gamer all my life, growing up playing the classic games. I started a community in 1984 with me and my friends, and growing up going to different arcade stores, and pretty much setting up high scores and trying to, set records and stuff like that, get world records, go to tournaments, going from the classic games all the way to like Mortal Kombat 1 and Street Fighter 1 to Quake and Doom. And then we decided to take it seriously, and not just be a community. And that's when Empire Arcadia was formed. Empire Arcadia is a development company. You could look at it, the best way to kind of look at it is like a talent organization, but it's really a development organization where we try to develop the different elements in gaming: fashion, art, music, education, health, community network, and competitive gaming, and more. And we have a gaming team, which is named after the organization, Empire Arcadia, and we go out to video game tournaments around the world, local, national, regional, national, and global, to compete in a variety of different genres in gaming, whether it may be RTS, from Command and Conquer days to what's the name of this thing here? To Mario Kart. What else? To even the old school classic games, to today's Street Fighter and Titanfall and what's the name of this? Hearthstone. We have a League of Legends team that we're now building, and so forth. And we've been competing for the last 12 years. And on August 3rd, 2012, Guinness World Records certified and adjudicated our team as the most documented tournament wins for a video game team is Empire Arcadia. And today, well, actually a couple of days ago, I picked up our updated version of the record, because the record is continuous. So officially, we're at 1,411 tournaments won. Not games, because anyone can sit down and play a video game and win 2,000 video games, but like going to actual sanctioned tournaments, public tournaments where you can compete against other people for cash prizes in different circuits, different leagues, whether it may be from as old as Twin Galaxies and ACAM, all the way up to MLG, and even now our new league that we're going to be sporting, which is MVG, Most Valuable Gaming. So that's what I do. That's my actual full-time job. I'm the founder and the CEO, and I'm also the general manager of the team. I have some partners that have just been brought on in the early part of this year, and we're trying to just get the team rolling in a new direction. We call it the second dynasty. Now, this is like the new campaign, since we're trying to restructure the organization. We have a promotional video and the whole 9 yards, and right now I'm actually in France, touring the International Video Game Cup. So that's what we're doing right now, and yeah, pretty much. If I'm not doing anything Nintendo, this is what I'm doing. So
okay. Well, that's what's up. So now y'all, you know John Shaw, and you already know Triforce.
Actually,
go ahead.
Actually, John, we met at. Are you the same John at PAX where you did the interview with me?
Yeah, same one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just double checking. All right. Okay.
Now, we killed them. People are still messed up about that Zelda timelines. If you go and you read, the comment section in that video, it was retardedly positive, man. I mean, like I thought people really did not know that it went that deep, and people didn't really catch all those nuggets that you and Mr. T and Tony Rendy and us went through. It was just, so we got to do, the Final Fantasy one. And I don't know, John, I don't know how familiar you are with the Final Fantasy timeline. You pass on that, huh?
Like, I like Final Fantasy. I like the story. I can't get down with the gameplay.
I ain't a Final Fantasy fan either, but at the same time, I can listen to the storyline and listen to try to break it down.
Yeah, I can do that. I like to listen. I like to do that. I like the storyline. I like the folklore of it. But I just can't get down with JRPG. The turn based and the way the gameplay. I can't do it. It's just not me.
I understand it. Go ahead, try. My bad.
Oh no, I wasn't saying anything. I was listening to John. So, but I definitely understand. A lot of people don't like traditional Japanese RPG. They more a lot. You have a lot of people coming into liking stuff like what's the name of this thing? Elder Scrolls types games. You know,
Skyrim and
action adventure RPGs.
Is that what it's
and
called?
I can,
That's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah, and I can relate to that because that's what Zelda is. Zelda is an action adventure RPG. So if I had a choice, I'm going with the action adventure.
Okay. All right. So we pretty much have introduced ourselves. Well, y'all introduced yourselves. You pretty much know who I am. Anyway, before we jump into these 3 topics, because I know this is going to get real. What you gaming on, people? What's the game you've been playing? John, you go first, and then try you jump in, and then I'll let them know what I've been gaming on. Then we can jump into the first topic.
Well, I've been playing the game that everybody loves to hate. It's Call of Duty.
Okay.
I'm a shooter here, so I like my Call of Duty. I like my Battlefields and stuff. But that's what I've been playing. I've been playing the Outlast too. That's the game. That game. That's something else.
I ain't seen it. I haven't seen it. I've been hearing about it.
Yeah, that game's something else. That's something that you can't watch nobody else play. You have to. That's something you take home. You turn your lights out. You turn the volume up on the TV on your surround sound, or you put some headphones on. And that's a game that you play by yourself. It's one of them games you have to get immersed in. It's like a game has never scared me before in my life. Like made me jump and do all kind of like, oh, what the hell's going on?
Okay.
You know, a game's never done that to me before. So that game, I had to give props to that game. And it was a free on PS Plus, so that was another, plus for that. But I've been playing that. And that's lately I haven't really been playing too much because I've been busy trying to fix up my house and stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I saw you really setting up your recording studio and everything. I saw some of the pictures of that. Looking pretty nice.
I'm not liking it right now. It's gonna have to be for pictures because I was down there, right? I was recording a video. I forgot which one I recorded. And I remember why I stopped going down there in the first place. It's like all the sounds of the house come down through there.
Right. You gotta get you some of them bass traps and all that, man. It'll help you out. Get you some bass traps and some stuff put around your perimeter of your basement, and it'll cut out a lot of that noise as well. But so try what you've been gaming on, man. I know you super busy, so I know you got your 3DS with you most of the time. What you been gaming on?
Well, you know my schedule, man. You just said it, man. You know my schedule. It's Tetris all day, every day. When I'm traveling on it, trust me, because that 14-hour flight on the train, the Nintendo 3DS XL, man, I supercharge it because I got a 3DS. I have my original 3DS and then my XL, and I charged both of them at full power before I went to the airport. And when I went to the airport, I just played on my regular black one, which held me out for about 5 to 6 hours flat. And then when that died, I was like, okay, cool. Let me take it out, switch, and I put it into my XL. And my XL held me down from the rest of the flight all the way into France. And until I got to the hotel before it started blinking red. And I was like, see, now that's a handheld right there. Nintendo makes good video game machines. Can no one deny that?
Nope. Okay. That thing lasts. Yeah. That battery's tried and true.
For real. But yeah, it's just Tetris and watching these guys play Smash Brothers and Injustice and Street Fighter, which is funny because there was a huge tournament in Philadelphia called Winter Brawl 8, and we won Injustice, Gods Amongst Us. We got second in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and we also got what's the name of it for this thing? The last game, Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition version 2012. We got first in that.
Okay.
So we did pretty. It was on MLG's esports report, and then Mewtwo King, a player for our organization, he pretty much just dominated Smash Brothers at this MLG esports initiative event called Shuffle 5.
Okay. Well, that's what's up. Now, okay, since you mentioned Smash Bros, before I let y'all know what I've been gaming on, because y'all most of it already know. What you think about Little Mac being announced in the game, man?
Well, I already knew that. In fact, I already know. Yeah, I know the last 3 to 4 characters that they're going to announce, the new ones that haven't been in the game. But that's not my business. I'm not supposed to tell anyone, but it doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Although I'm telling you right now, Mac looks godlike, but he's not going to be that great. After talking to Mewtwo King, he says based on the moves he sees, he says he's going to spot dash those things and just punish Mac. He says he looks at it and thinks Mac sucks. Competitively anyway. Obviously when you're playing the game just to have fun, you're just going to pick Mac because you just want to pick Mac and have a good time. But competitive wise, some of these pros out here, they look at a game and they'll tell you right there and then what works and what doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, this will be my, if after I get it, that'll be my first time playing Smash.
Oh, you'll love it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I've been gaming on that Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and it is pretty much the hardest game I've played in a long time. This game is hard. I mean, it might not be hard for you, but everybody that's been tweeting about it, you know what I'm saying? My boy Active, he been tweeting about it, and he got some. I gotta send you a video of one of his run throughs, man. The boy got skills, but it's a hard game, man. It's really challenging. I mean, from stage 1, it's not a joke. It's not. People love to say that Nintendo games are for kids. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is not for kids, man. Like I was telling John. When his son get the game, he ain't gonna be pleased because that's how hard it is, man.
If video games are for kids, then I feel, it's embarrassing to watch adults play because a lot of adults they'll pick up a game like no offense, Call of Duty, and these guys they're solid at it, and then you give them a game like Super Mario Brothers 1 and they die to the first Goomba, like. How hard it is to walk and jump on something that can't even attack you. It just walks straight. But guys can aim and shoot, give you a headshot in Call of Duty. And it's like, so when a game like Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which appears to be difficult for adults, I'm telling you, your children will run through that game and it makes you really wonder, like, how good are you? And then you start to be like, yo, listen, no more games for you because you don't want your children to outdo you. You kind of get mad about it.
That's how my kid did me with that Naruto.
Yep. See?
I was sitting there I was like, come on now, what's going on? I was like, this ain't happening right now.
See, I'm trying to bring my son up the right way, man. I'm trying to start him off. I be telling him like, dude, if you really want to be good at games, these are the type of games that make you good. This is translate to every other game you play if you can learn how to master these type of games like Donkey Kong and the games that make you have to be quick with your reflex, quick with your, you know what I'm saying, with your
the fundamentals, man.
Yeah,
the fundamentals. Without the fundamentals, you will never excel in any other game. You need those fundamentals.
Okay, so yeah, I've been enjoying it, man. I know I made a lot of my fellow Nintendo fans mad with my video the last few videos I put up. I wasn't really pleased with the last Direct. And they was all wanting me to ask you, Try, you know what I'm saying? How did you feel? And John, you can jump in on this too, and then we go to our first topic. How did you feel about that latest Nintendo Direct?
Now watch this, and this is going to make everyone go, whoa. Because of level. I called you earlier this week for that particular personal situation. I literally have been, if I'm not playing my 3DS, I've been out of the game for a week and a half now because I left for Philadelphia on Thursday to go to the tournament. Actually, Wednesday night, everyone flew in from California because it was a big tournament. So I was at this Brooklyn gaming center called Next Level. So I was off the radar on Wednesday. Everyone flew in on Thursday. I was off the radar. We went to the tournament Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so I was off the radar. Monday, my crisis came up. That's when I hit you up early in the week, and I've been grinding ever since that to try to make the situation work. And then here I am in France. So unfortunately, I haven't been able to. What's the word for this? I haven't been online in that regards. What's going on with Nintendo? So I have no idea what happened. So if you could update me, I could give you my opinion on it.
Well, this is what I do. I'll give you a chance because they got it up on YouTube. You can see it if you get a chance. I'd rather you see it yourself than let you take my.
Give me your version of it.
Okay. Now,
that would be the best thing to do.
Okay, I'll do it. John, first of all, what did you think of the latest direct? I saw some of your comments.
I didn't really watch it. I just watched all the highlights.
Oh, y'all both didn't see it.
No, I looked at what was going on, but like, I take the directs for what they are. They just like telling you what's about to come. I mean, I don't know. I just don't look at it like everybody else looks at it.
Right. Now, okay, so let me go. Cause I feel like I don't feel like I owe them an apology, but at the same time, I think they might not been the people who follow me might not been prepared for a slap yourself aimed at Nintendo and Iwata. And, I was being funny. I was doing me, being funny and trying to be clever and witty. But I think it really, people really take this stuff to heart and really think that you're turning your back on something because you choose to point out a few little things that you wasn't pleased with. But people, I am true blue Nintendo, man. And then when Lai came and made his announcement that he did trade in his Wii U for a PlayStation 4, that really.
Whoa.
Yeah, he did.
Whoa.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, you've been out the loop, man.
That's not a good look, B.
I know.
See, we're gonna have to talk about that. Hold on for a second. First of all, so I'm gonna just put this out there. I don't care what fan you are. You could be a Nintendo fan, a Sega fan, a Microsoft fan, a Sony fan. Call yourself whatever you want to be. I'm going to show you something that does not make sense. Trading in your system for another video game system makes no sense. Whoever came up with this ideal is an idiot. I shouldn't be calling people an idiot, but since I don't know who came up with it, I'm just throwing it out there. It makes more sense for you to keep your system and just buy a new one. No, you do not save any money. You lose. You don't. Just get an additional system. The reason why you should get an additional system if you're not satisfied with your current system is because the market changes. For the first 2 quarters, Sony could be on top, and then later on, it's just they're not throwing out any real jewels. And that's the time Nintendo throws out a jewel. Or that's the time Microsoft throws out the jewel. So if you have both systems, you will always be kept busy using one of the systems depending on what games you like to play. Trading in your system only leads to this, and this happens all the time. Man, I bought my Wii U, and after Nintendo Land and Zelda HD and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Nintendo doesn't have any games. Man, this is stupid. I spent $300 and something for nothing. You go into GameStop, you trade it in. You do not even you get 10% of what you bought your system for. You trade it in, you get a brand new system. 6 months down the line, Brawl comes out. Well, new Smash Bros. Comes out. Oh man, now I gotta go back and get the Nintendo Wii again.
Right.
You just bought 3 systems when you could have just had 2. That makes no sense. You lost.
I totally agree. I mean, but like I said, it was his decision. Like I said, he's not here to defend himself, so I don't want to.
No, this is not about him. Yeah. This is about people that do this, right? It doesn't matter if you're a Sony fan, a Nintendo fan, or a Microsoft fan. Stop doing that. If you buy a system and you don't like it, put it to the side. Get another system. You never know. Later on, that system may come into value. Right. Don't sell it. That doesn't make any sense.
I agree. Like I told him, and like I tell anyone, I made the dumbest decision of my life when I traded in my Dreamcast for the PlayStation 2. That was, I felt sick cause it was just them games that I had on the Dreamcast I could never get back. And it's just a waste of my money. It's a waste of time. And I never got out of the PlayStation 2 all the memories and the fun that I had with the Dreamcast. So I never done it again. Now I did get rid of the 360 cause I had the original and I knew it was going to die on me cause it had already done it. So I'm just trying to get what I can get for it. But I'd never trade in the system again. But that'll be a topic we can have when Live is back and we can all talk about it. But yeah, we really turned the community upside down, Tribe, while you've been gone, bro. Let me give you my spin on the Nintendo Direct. Okay. And I'll do it in a more not so like I did it. This is my problem with the Nintendo Direct. It wasn't that it was a bad Nintendo Direct. I just think they focused too much time with the 3DS. Now, with that being said, I understand after the fact and listen to a few other people, you pivot. But at that time, right, fresh off the press, and it was a few days later that I did my video. At that time, I just felt like, with me buying the Wii U, spending my money, as a consumer, I spent my money. I gave Nintendo my $350 plus for the extra controller plus a few more games. Nintendo made a good little cheese off of me, and what I'm saying? So when I watch a Direct and, they've been doing this for a year long now. It's not like this is fresh. They had a lot of time to really work out the way that they, they work, the way that they transition to different things and the structure of the Direct. As a Wii U owner, I feel like I deserve just as much time as the 3DS owner gets. And it's like, and I use what a guy by the name of Nintendo says, he uses as when Ubisoft pulled the Watch Dogs and delayed it for the Wii U, but it's coming out on all the other systems. He said no parity, no purchase. And I was using the same understanding when I watch a Direct, I want parity. I want a good amount of 3DS information, and I want that same attention paid to the Wii U as well, being a Wii U owner. And I think I didn't relay that quite as well as I could have, and it really made some folks mad. They know me. They came around, they understood me, but at the same time, I really rubbed a few people wrong. But I just felt like they spent too much time with the 3DS and not enough time really explaining the games that they did show for the Wii U. So that's why I said you would have to see it yourself to really see if what I'm saying and my thoughts is fair and balanced.
Well, actually, I don't have to watch it. I kind of feel like that sometimes when I do watch a Nintendo Direct, and it's about understanding. The fans, all the Nintendo supporters have to understand that a lot of us who buy the Nintendo console, the home console system, we are happy with what Nintendo provides, and we would like to know what's coming out next for the console and what the console's features are and what it does. It costs a pretty penny. It's not like, this is some $100 system that we're buying. And based on what you're telling me, I can completely understand and relate to where you're coming from. If you're having a Nintendo Direct, well, Nintendo, you need to, if you're going to put out content about the 3DS, you need to at least put out equal or significant to the amount for the Nintendo Wii that you put out for the 3DS, because they need to cover all the bases when it comes to the Nintendo community, not just one side of it. That doesn't mean Nintendo's wrong. It just means, hey, listen, as a consumer that's purchasing your Nintendo Wii and a full supporter of your console system, next time, please put a little bit more effort into giving us stuff for the Nintendo Wii U. That's not a slap at Nintendo. As a consumer, you have that right to voice that opinion. And it doesn't mean that you're against Nintendo. It's not like you're selling your system. You're just saying you want to know more about it.
Right.
The 3DS does get more attention than the Nintendo Wii and Wii U. And the reason why is because it's obvious from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
Yes, sells more, so Nintendo needs to focus on the breadwinner right now. But at the same time, my 3DS is like my best friend because it's my companion. electronic companion that comes with me. But at the same time, I want, come on, man, I wanna know what's going on with the Nintendo Wii U. When's the next Xenosaga? When's the next last story? When's the next Zelda? When's the next Metroid? I would like to know that information as well, and whatever other features that the Nintendo Wii U has. Some of these special projects and things that's coming out for the 3DS, Nintendo could take the time to say, okay, you know something, let's put this on the Wii instead, because it needs it.
Let's pause right there, cause that's exactly what I said that got the flame. You said, and they thought you was gonna disagree with me. But anyway, John, what you got to say, John? Jump on here, man. What you got to say?
Well, with me, it's like, I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, this is like you said earlier, who was it, like Triforce was saying earlier about selling your console or whatever. It's like, I got all the I have every freaking single system and handheld there. So it's like, if something's not going on this, I just go to the next one. I just play my next one, and then when something comes out for that one, I play that one. I hip hop through all my systems on a daily basis, weekly basis, whatever. Like right now, I was playing Sony. Then I stopped playing my PlayStation 4 for a little bit and went back to the Xbox 360 to play some Grand Theft Auto. I just go back and forth for that. So for me, it's like I don't see the need for the urgency right now. For me, that's just for me. Right. But I can see if you're a one console owner and that's the only system you own, I can understand maybe you want more. I'm still trying to play catch up.
Right, and that's where I'm at, man. Even I got so many games on the Wii U that I haven't even beat. It ain't even about getting the next big thing. This is my whole thing was, with the 3DS, they showed the indies, they broke it down. This was my problem. Not only did they show the stuff, Triforce, they broke it down to detail. They told you if it was online, they told you all the features when it came to the 3DS. And then they moved from the 3DS to the Wii U now they spent like 30 minutes on the 3DS. Now the Direct was only 40-something minutes long. They spent 30 minutes, 27 to 30 minutes on the 3DS. They spent about 15 minutes on the Wii U. They showed you Mario Kart. They let you know that the Koopa is going to be in the Mario Kart game. They didn't let you know if it was online. They didn't let you know if you can do voice chat. They ain't let you know nothing, but they did give you a date. Then they showed Monolith Soft X. They just showed some gameplay. They didn't detail the gameplay. They didn't tell you what was going on. And then you hear people in the comment section saying, oh, well, you should already be familiar with the game. They shouldn't have to explain. It's like, stop finding.
No, that's not true.
Right.
No. That's not true because as for Nintendo to serve their community better, especially their community base, especially for the new people, it's not about you should know. What about the people who are coming in that don't know? Right. They need to know as well. Just as I'm sure all that information that they gave out on the 3DS games, some of that information you already knew, but they still made it detailed and they gave you that information. It's about disseminating this information to the public evenly. It has to be done in a manner where you're servicing both, or it's going to look like you prefer one over the other. And that's not to say that's what Nintendo's intentions were. Perhaps at that time when they created that particular Nintendo Direct, they just had more news to report on the 3DS than they did on the Wii, and so they're just gonna focus okay, this particular Nintendo 3DS is gonna just focus on the 3DS. Nothing was done wrong. You just had your opinion about the information that they gave out on the 3DS. That doesn't make you less of a Nintendo fan. You just wanted to know more about the Wii U.
Well, you need to school our fan base because they think if you, and this is that's why I don't bring everybody on my show or me and Live show that agrees. I don't want I want to bring people like when Hip Hop Gamer come on, I know he's not finna agree. I know he's gonna have some things to say against Nintendo, but at the same time, I like the fact that we can dialogue back and forth. And you get a full picture. My boy K-Bum, he's a PlayStation head. you get a full picture of what's going on. If you always just bringing people on that agree, that say what you want to say, what you want to hear, and that's what you gravitate to, I look at you like, what type of person are you that you only want to hear?
I don't like that. Those
Right.
are called lemmings. Remember that video game back on the NES and Super Nintendo, Lemmings? It's just, you just have these chain of people just following and falling off cliffs. I don't like that. I like people who have constructive, open-minded opinions and outlooks on things. It gives you a different perspective. You don't just accept what's being told to you because, first of all, perception isn't reality. It really isn't. Perception is your reality. Reality is reality. So, something may look a particular way, and then someone will give their perception on it.
Right.
I like to look at things for the all three sides, to the coin. Everyone likes to look at things in black and white, but there is a gray. Like you can, if you have a coin, I ask people this all the time. How many sides are to this coin? And people say 2, and I shake my head because it's like, really? Like, really? You're looking at this coin and you only think that there's 2 sides to the coin. And they're like, yeah, what do you mean? So I'm like, what about the edge? That's not a side to the coin. And I'm like, and that is an unfortunate mentality to have. It really is. This is a bad mentality to have, And Nintendo fans and supporters out there, I'm not necessarily taking up for, level. But you guys gotta keep in mind, it is his opinion. He just wants Nintendo to put a little bit more focus on the Wii U. To be honest with you, on that note, I definitely agree with you. The 3DS has all the support in the universe. The 3DS is Michael Jordan right now. You just pass the ball and it's going to make that shot. But the Nintendo Wii U is a Scottie Pippen, and we need to focus on helping develop Scottie Pippen so that he can become that great support player, that he's always been to help, the Bulls win. I like using that analogy all the time because the 3DS doesn't need the help. It really doesn't. A lot of these games that come on the 3DS, any real Nintendo fan will tell you, man, I wish they would make a Wii U version of it or a console version of it. And that's the truth. Like, come on. Like, keep this real, everybody. Which version of Golden Sun would you rather see? On the 3DS or the Wii U? You see my point?
Right.
You're gonna want it on your console. And, and that's just the truth about it. Like, I would love to see a lot of these games that come on the Nintendo 3DS go into the Wii U. But, hey,
Right.
Right now, Nintendo needs to look at in my opinion, they need to look at their library. When they take a look at their library that's on the 3DS, and they need to say, okay.
Save it, because that's one of the questions down there. So save, that's your suggestion.
Okay.
So let's jump into these questions. Let's get it in. So we got John, we got Triforce, your boy Leveled is here. Let's get it in. First topic. And I'm pretty sure, well, Tribe, you ain't been on the internet, why you might not know, but I'm pretty sure John knows. Sony is going through some financial struggles, right?
I don't need to be on the internet to know that. They've been doing that all their life.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
But they just laid off 1,000 employees.
Whoa. Okay,
They just sold, I think, they just closed 20 to 30 retail stores. Is that right, John?
I think so. Yeah.
They just laid off 50 Santa Monica employees from the developers.
All right, they're done. The last time I was on here, we had a conversation about which of the 3 companies are going to close up to leave 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the writing's on the wall.
All right. So, okay. So my question is, and John, you come out first. I want you to come out first, and then try you come up the rear with it and get your points. Is the Sony financial problem a cause for concern?
Yeah, it is. It is. Because this the whole industry's about it. It's just I remember Triforce saying something a long time ago, and I took heed to what he was saying. It's like it's a lot of changes about to go on. A lot of people companies about to start shutting down. But I think as far as Sony goes, yeah, they need to tighten up. And I think that's what they're doing. They're tightening up, and I think they need to separate it. They need to separate the PlayStation brand from the rest of what they're doing.
Okay.
Because like the PS3, they lost money on that, right? Mm-hmm. And apparently they lost money on that, and it affected the other divisions and stuff, right? And also now the other divisions' losses is affecting the other, the Sony, the PlayStation division. I think they need to separate it, tighten up, and then refocus what they need to do. Like the TV, like TVs, nobody wants a Sony TV anymore. They cost too much. Why get a Sony TV when you can get the same thing with Samsung, same thing with Vizio, same thing with LG for a whole lot cheaper? Nobody wants that. Or Panasonic, yeah. Why do all that when you got all these other manufacturers that's making the same thing for a whole lot cheaper? Nobody wants that. As far as what else, the Blu-ray players. Everybody has a Blu-ray player now. They even got knockoff Blu-ray players now. Nobody wants to pay. Sony's been known for making you pay top dollar for the same thing that everybody else is doing. And I think that's been a mistake for them. So I think they need to reevaluate that. Now, given that, they do have some divisions that are actually making money, like their new camera division, where they're focused on the new mirrorless market. They're making money there. They need to focus more on that. They need to focus more on their PlayStation brand. They need to focus more on it was something else that
insurance. The insurance make money too.
I didn't know they had insurance. That's
they got insurance.
But they focus on what's making money, and then maybe if not, do away with what's not making money, or restructure it to where they can make money, reevaluate what they're doing, and stuff like that. And then I think they'll be all right. But if they don't do something now, they're it's going to be a uphill battle. And while everybody's screaming, because PlayStation's selling and stuff, they're selling now. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean they're going to sell later.
Right. Thank you, John. Thank you. Go ahead. I'm preach. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
So it's like, but they're selling now, but doesn't mean they're going to sell later. Doesn't mean, just because the same thing happened last generation. Yeah, the Xbox 360 was selling well, but the Wii U whipped everybody's ass. You know what I'm saying? And that was supposed to be what? The inferior system.
But see, let me interject here for a second. Okay. Let's step away from video games for a second. We're going to look at these things as companies in business. From a business standpoint, and this is the problem with a lot of the fans, and this is why console wars are stupid. When you look at this from a business standpoint, the entire video game industry, with the exception of Nintendo, has been losing for the last 2.5 decades. Why? Because your consoles do not make money. It costs them an arm and a leg in the R&D and the manufacturing for the consoles. They're selling the consoles at a loss. What they need to do is now create software which that they can get their percentage from on the sales of the software to go to their console where they can make money. It is not an opinion. It is a fact. Even to this day, Sony and Microsoft continue to lose on the hardware to the software ratio. Now, you're going to have some people like, Triforce, what are you talking about? Do you not see sales in the millions on Madden? And no, people, I'm talking about the first party. That is where they get the bulk of their money. They do not get a lot of money from from third-party sales. They get a percentage, a very small percentage on top of that. That does not equate to the amount that they're spending in terms of making the hardware, the marketing campaign behind that, blah, blah, blah. This is why they operate at a loss every single year, which has been the cancer in the company, Sony as a whole, because Sony, to save their division, PlayStation, continuously bleeds money to it. Year in and year out, year after year, to save a Sony brand. Any CEO of any company would tell you who is bleeding like this. The Sony PlayStation division. Cut it. They would just cut it from a business standpoint. You don't keep the cancer that's killing the entire parent company. That's madness. You know why Microsoft can get away with it? Because the money is a drop in the bucket to them. They don't care. They lose millions, but Microsoft as a whole, in terms of what's the word for this? Applications for what the parent company makes. This is nothing. It's nothing to them. Yeah, we lost $2 billion this year. Who's on the ground floor working on this? That person. Fire them or hire another person. Let's hope next year is better. Done. That's pretty much it. They don't have to stop the whole division because they can continuously create prospects that says, well, if we do a 5-year plan and we lose $6 billion, well, in 10 years we make $11 billion. And they have the money that can stretch the decades. Sony does not. They're not even number one in their own category, which is consumer electronics. They're fighting against Samsung. They're fighting against Vizio. They're fighting against Panasonic. They're fighting against all these different others. They're not even number one in their field. So bad enough that they're not number one in their field, but then they have a division that's consistently bleeding them dry of their money. Now they're closing up all these other areas of Sony that's, I guess, not doing well, which complicates things. At least Microsoft is the leader in their scene. So it doesn't matter if they're losing money here. That's like you're rich and your daughter comes home and she's like, Dad, I need a new car. I just bought you a car 2 days ago. Yeah, but my other girlfriend, she has a car better than that. So you're a billionaire. So what does that mean to you? Okay, she got the newest version. Okay, we're going to go to the car lot today. We're going to pick out the new 2015. We're going to pick out a Tesla. Electric car, something brand new, and you're just doing it to support your daughter. So it doesn't mean anything to you.
Right.
Now, when you look at Nintendo in terms of their market, video games, their consoles make money. They make money on the console. Forget about the software. They're making money selling the console because they don't put the level of R&D, manufacturing, all of the stuff that these guys put in to make these unnecessary systems, and trust me, we never use we never use all of it. We never maximize the functions of any of the consoles. We don't. People will say, well, I do. Yeah, you do. You're the minority. Boo-hoo. In business, they're looking for the majority. The majority never maximize the full functionalities of these console systems. So Nintendo's not only making money from the consoles, now they're making money from the software to the consoles. Why? Because it's their game. Mario's gonna sell. Zelda's gonna sell, Metroid's gonna sell, Pokemon's gonna sell, Star Fox gonna sell, Punch-Out's gonna sell, Donkey Kong gonna sell, Smash Brothers gonna sell. All of their games are going to sell, so they always make a profit. This is why Peter Moore said Nintendo is never going to die. I don't understand why people have not got this simple concept. It's been there for 30 years now. People are still on, and it's because of the media. The media inundates
don't go there. We going there. I feel you, see.
But yeah. I agree with you that I was saying that on the Warzone too. I was like, yeah, okay, they're not the whole lost thing that everybody's perpetuating. I was like, they're just not making what they said they were going to make.
Right.
They're not really losing.
Let me jump in here.
Actually, it says it. Nintendo said they missed their projections.
That's what I was just going to go.
They did not say
projections wrong, man. It's not.
It never said we lost money. They just said a projection. I'm sorry, Level. If I cut you off,
let
me educate.
You finish saying what I was going to say.
Yeah, let me school them. For you fanboys out there, both Nintendo and others, a projection is when a company says, we're going to spend this amount of money. We're going to spend $100 million. Our projection sales at the end of the year is to make $200 million. That means they go plus. They are positive. Their profit is $200 million, right? So they go up $100 million. Now, if they miss their projections, they could have missed their projections by only making $80 million. That means they missed the $100 million profit forecast, but they still made $80 million. They're still at a plus. It's not a loss. It just means they missed the target projection that they were going to make. You know what that means? It simply means someone doesn't go to the Hamptons. That's all it means. But everyone still gets paid. Everyone's still at a plus. That's all that means. So when you hear someone missing a projection, that is one thing. When you hear people talking about we have to lay off people and close down stores, that's another.
Right. And to add on to what you were saying and what John said as well with Sony, not only are they losing money on every system sold, not only are they not making enough first party titles that sell, they're paying third party to secure titles.
Man, and that's bleeding money.
Bleeding money. Now, I got into a back and forth with a guy, and John can attest to this, where I was literally saying what Sony, he kept showing me this, I guess Sony got a phone coming up, or whatever. And I was saying this, man, with the situation Sony is in, what Sony needs to do is shrink down, cut dead weight, any division that is not making money, or that is taxing them.
Got to go.
Gotta go. Focus on what is selling and build on that. They don't really got the money to try to compete with another market that's already got proven devices. If you look at the phone market, you got iPhone, you got Samsung. Those two phones are proven. No matter who throw a phone in the market, they're gonna have to spend a lot of money to beat Samsung and Apple. And Apple,
they don't have that money.
Right, and they don't have that money. So that's, to make it even sell, you gotta go broke to make it sell. So I scratch my head, because when you bring up Sony and you talk about the financial aspect, people literally in this community act as if you have crossed the line, this invisible line of a no. No, you can't do that. That's Sony. You know, we can talk about Nintendo, even down to Microsoft, all day. The two that are not in no financial bind. But when you talk about Sony and the fact that they're literally, I made a video on it, 1 foot in the grave, and people act as if you are talking out of left field, like you just is talking gibberish.
Well, that's because, see, that's that fanboy, that's that real fanboy joint. That right there is just bad business. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. Mark Triforce's words. Kazurai is done. They're going to destroy him, because they're not going to sit here and allow him to bury the company. They're not. They're going to be like, no, you got to go. We gave you all the chances possible for the last decade plus. Nah, we've been destroying this company just to save your little precious PlayStation. These people don't understand what corporate takeover is. They're going to see they're going to see who's a real boss. You think they care about video game systems in their global agenda for marketing? All right, you guys going to see what real business is. Because at the end of the day, that system ain't selling. It's got to go. And you guys are going to find out firsthand. It is going to go. They're not playing games. This is billions of dollars that they're dealing with here. And they're not trying to save it because you're a fan of Sony. So what is that supposed to mean?
My thing is, like John was saying, man, you gotta look at what's going on, man. At the end of the day, I forget the fact that I like Nintendo. Forget all that. Cause Nintendo's doing stuff I don't like either right now. But at the end of the day, the whole market is being squeezed. I kept telling people the same thing you saw going on with the Wii U is going to happen with these three systems, these other two as well. Now, yes, the PlayStation 4 is selling well at the moment, but you got to look at what's really going down. One, Microsoft shot themselves in the foot. And two, people were literally tired of 7th gen. So you got the fan base morale and ready to purchase and buy into the console, but you're going to see a steady decline in sales if they don't get the casuals and those who don't follow this stuff as much. Those are the people that's going to make it get up to the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. They probably already getting close to most of their true fans buying into the system. So there's still a lot of work Sony got to do, and they ain't out the woodwork yet. They still got a lot of work to do, and I don't know. People just, this community is just retarded to me at times. It's just retarded, you know. So go ahead, John. My bad.
Let's look at something right now. Like because everybody likes to say the Wii U ain't got no games and you know, blah blah blah. You know, let's take something like you got Donkey Kong Country, right?
Mm-hmm.
When's the next first party game coming out?
May 30th. That's Super Mario Kart.
Okay, and how many months is that?
That's 4. Yeah,
okay.
4.
Okay, now let's look at the Sony exclusive. We got next one's coming up is Infamous, right?
Yep.
When's the next Sony exclusive?
That's what I said. I don't know.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We got Titanfall that's coming up, right? When's the next Microsoft exclusive?
Don't know.
Why is that? Nobody else can see that. But you know what I'm saying? But yet they're trying to say that Nintendo is the one that has no games. It's like I was telling people before. I said the only reason Nintendo is in the situation that they're in is because these third parties decided to have a stick up their ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't know what it is that happened or what Nintendo. I don't know whether Nintendo smacked them up a long time ago or something, or they pissed off now or something. But they decided to have a stick up their ass, and they're not supporting Nintendo. And that's Nintendo.
You know what the sad part is? That's going to come to bite them back in their butt later on, because when the industry loses one of the giants, and I guarantee you it will not be Nintendo. When they lose one of the giants, Nintendo's going to be like, remember what you did, and that is going to be the day of reckoning. It is going to be a problem then. And then these guys are going to, those who stuck by Nintendo are going to be the only ones who are going to be like, thank God we did not say nothing negative about them, because like that was not cool. Like the way these guys are like work with Nintendo, man, listen. That's all I have to say. Listen, what these guys did was just dead wrong. Like, there's no reason for these other entities to be, acting the way they do with Nintendo.
Well, I know why they do it. The reason they do it is because they cornered the market. When Mike and Iwata said it, the moment you start paying these people to produce games for your system, you break the system.
Yeah, you do.
And he said, we refuse to do it because it's endless. Then you'll be doing it forever. And every title that come out, you're going to be paying. And that's why I'll keep trying to tell folks, Microsoft can go out and spend $1 billion, like Triforce said, because they got all that software, they got the computers and all the things that is number one in the market to fall back on. Sony, people just don't want to lose it.
This is nothing to them.
Yeah, Sony.
This is why developers. This is why developers are so. What's the word for them? This is why developers want to make games for Microsoft. Don't get it twisted. It has nothing to do with them liking them. It's because the platform in which they can do business with Microsoft benefits them. Right. They look at it like, okay, we can ransom Microsoft for money. But the reality is Microsoft's like, we don't care. Listen, if you make the games exclusive for us, name your price. We'll write you a blank check. It doesn't matter. Nintendo does not have that leverage to do that. So when you're in business as a developer or a publisher, you're going to go with the guy that's going to write you the blank check. So Nintendo's like, well, we're not writing you no blank check. You're crazy. And they go, well, okay, Nintendo, since you ain't writing us a blank check, we're going to go to the guy that's going to write us a blank check, because this is what puts money in our pocket that feeds our family. And that's what it is. But the difference with Nintendo and these other companies, Nintendo's like, okay, cool, go do what you got to do. We're not going to knock your hustle. Go take care of yourself. Take care of your family. We, however, are going to still make our games. You see what I'm saying? We're not in a position where, okay, if you don't do this for us, this hurts us. Nintendo's like, if you don't do this for us, you don't do it for us. Right. Game over. That's it. That's the end of the deal. We'll just go and make our games. And that's what puts Nintendo in, when you really look at it in the long run, the long-term investment, it puts Nintendo in the position of true power, because they are not being ransomed. The others are. Microsoft don't care though. They're like, oh, well, okay, you want to ransom us, whatever.
Well, and you're right. I agree. It's something Torrance said in his last Morning Gamer, where he was talking about Titanfall and how, the fact that EA and Microsoft worked out the deal to make Titanfall exclusive only thing that really happened is, either way it go, EA is not losing money. Cause EA the game is already paid for before it hit the shelf, and they get the money from the sales when it hit the shelf. So,
they don't lose.
Right. And then you got these, Irrational Games and all these other people who are trying to, that's trying to keep up in a market that is really, has pretty much imploded on itself, because the games cost too much to make now. And if you don't get these Sony or Microsoft to pay for the production of the game, and if the game hit the market and don't sell well, you pretty much just wiped away half of your savings. So It's retarded. But let's move on. So Sony's financial situation is a cause for concern, people. If you want, you can keep trying to write it off as nothing, not a big deal if you want to, and watch another 10,000 people get laid off. I'm telling you, the same stuff that I see going on with Sony happened to Blockbuster Video when I was managing it. As a store manager, I saw all the same traits. I'm telling you, the writing is on the wall, like Triforce said.
This is a business thing. This is not a system war stuff. This is not a fanboy war. This is business. This is bad. Like, from what you're telling me, this is bad for their business. They will close that business down. Period. Like, you don't understand. There are shareholders that they have to answer to, and you think they're going to sit here and say, "Yeah, but like we have to beat Nintendo." These people will look at them and be like, I'm putting my kids through college, and you're talking about beating Nintendo? Someone, security,
hey, John,
you have to remove them.
Hey, John.
Yep.
You remember this dude by the name of Daniel Loeb? He was a shareholder. He owned like $1 billion in stocks in Sony. He came out a year ago, and nobody really talked about it. We're gonna get down to the media. Nobody really talked about it. This is back when, Nintendo first came out with the Wii U, and it was, and all that, and they wasn't seeing the sales. They started talking to this hedge fund owner, and he had, like $1 billion invested in the stocks of Sony. And he said Sony needs to cut. And the 3 things he was talking about, and you're starting to see it, he said, he talked about the, computers, not making no money. He talked about something else. He talked about getting rid of all this dead weight that's draining Sony. And you're starting to see it. They ain't really telling you how it's going on, but you're starting to...
The media wants to write it the way they want to write it, as opposed to what it is. So that's the media for you.
It's there. So y'all look him up. Daniel Loeb. Look him up. It's right there. But anyway, next topic. And then we get down to the main one, man. What does Microsoft and Nintendo need to do to improve themselves in the marketplace? Let's start with Microsoft first. And John, you started off.
Microsoft. Well, see, another thing going back into the media is like, it's only been 4 months.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's like, and I don't like, I hate all fanboys, but if anything, it's Sony fanboys got issues. Cause they're the ones that make all this stuff up. It's like, oh my God, we're winning the console war. It's like, it's 4 months. We ain't even been a year yet. It's like, who cares? It's 4 months. It's like, Microsoft's big game hasn't even came out yet. You know what I'm saying? It's like, their big game, if there was ever, and cause like, actually, before I got my extra money to get the consoles, cause I wasn't gonna get the PlayStation 4 or Xbox right away, but I just happened to fall on some extra money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna get the Xbox till Titanfall. I wasn't gonna get the, PlayStation 4 till Metal Gear. You know? These were games that's months away from launch. You know? Right. But these are what I was looking for. And now, there's a lot of people like me, they're not going to get the Xbox till Titanfall. They wanted to wait till Titanfall. You know? Now you get it for free. If you waited. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like, dang, I should have waited. You know? But now you get it for free. And it's like, I think that's going to move systems. And I think they're going to be alright. Now they need to focus on getting more first party titles. Because I think they like what Triforce was saying, what you were saying, they are dependent on third party. If you take third party out the game right now, what do they have?
Who does he sound like? Who does he sound like? Exactly. You take the third party out of this, these dudes are cooked. Like, they're cooked. This is not an opinion. You remove third party from the industry, Nintendo bodied these people free. 10-0 matchup. Like, and before, because I want John to finish up what he's saying, I'm letting this being said right now, right? Look, all right? When you get to me and you ask me what does Nintendo need to do, my answer is going to be nothing. All Nintendo has to do is sit there and ride this round out. and they are all going to do it for Nintendo. Nintendo, continue to make your games at the slow pace that you do. No one's going to miss you. Trust me. The world's busy right now. We all got a bunch of things to do. So there's no reason to be throwing out your army outside like that. You know, you put out 1 or 2 big boys in the year, 3 tops, and you spread them through the year. Third party, whoever you going to make games for Nintendo, you make your games and whatever, and we call it a year. Nintendo will ride this out until these guys break the industry again, like 83, 84, and then Nintendo comes to the rescue and save everyone. Because they're all idiots. I gotta stop calling people idiots, but yeah.
But and then so with Microsoft, like, I just like the way the media portrays it's like they're not doing bad. It's like what is okay? So they're not selling as much as Sony. Who cares? It's only 4 months. The same thing.
Are they making a profit?
I mean, I really don't know about their whole thing, but with all, their thing, but I just know they're selling. They're not, they're not
I would think that they're probably.
How many systems have they sold since the Xbox One dropped?
3.5, somewhere around 3.4 mil.
That's not bad. What's the problem?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's the Sony, like John said, man, it's the Sony fan base who make these, just like the resolution gate and all that silly mess, and whether it's going to be 1080p 60 frames per second, and every game that was released in a lower frame rate on the Xbox, if it didn't match the Sony system, they made this, they spammed YouTube, they spammed all these sites would spam it as a problem. But then when you look at some of the titles on the PlayStation 4 that was less than 1080p, less than 60 frames per second, them was good games, and they praised them until a game on the Xbox didn't match the same game that was being released on the PlayStation 4, like, a Battlefield 4 or a Call of Duty. So it's more it's like you said, it's a lot of ignorance and a lot of just fanboys, man. Just really just a lot of stupidity in the in the fan bases. So.
And what I as a consumer want Microsoft to do is not buy more exclusives like they're doing. They're buying third party exclusives,
right?
Basically, I don't want them to do that. If I want you to do anything, I want you to maybe buy the company, so it's your company.
Real. Now that you say that, real talk. This is what I hope happens. The industry collapsed into itself. Microsoft can survive it. They got the money. Sony bows out, and then Microsoft buys Sega, with the exception of Sonic. They don't get Sonic because Sonic's with Nintendo now. And then it'll just be back to the Super Nintendo Genesis era, and then we'll all be happy.
Now, that would be nice. That'd be a utopian situation. But if I would say what I think Microsoft needs to do, all I think Microsoft needs to do is utilize the companies that they have. Like, they still ain't using Rare right. Rare, all them, like, the fact that they gave Killer Instinct to a whole nother company to produce it, when they got Rare right there. You got Banjo-Kazooie, you got Perfect Dark, all them IPs, you sitting on them. And these IPs are great IPs. And you got great developers right under your umbrella that you can pay them to make your games, but you constantly paying some third party. It's like they don't have faith in their own.
Maybe it's something that we don't know. Cause that made me think about that. Right. Because like, if they buying all this and they got all these companies, why aren't they using them?
That's what I don't know. That makes
some companies like to buy companies just to shelf them. It's just so that they don't have, so their competitor doesn't have it.
Okay.
That's the reason why they buy the other company, just so that the competitor can't use it. So.
And I don't know why Nintendo let Rare go. I still try to figure that one out, man. But
they did a whole report on it. Rare, they were losing money on Rare.
Oh, okay.
And so it was good business to let them go. Microsoft bought them for a good hefty chunk, and
like $300-400 million, right?
Yeah, and Nintendo was like, oh, okay, we'll take it because we're not really doing anything with the intellectual properties with them. And then when you look at it in the long run, that was a good move on Nintendo because what has Rare done?
Nothing. You're right. And
Exactly. So they let
Banjo-Kazooie is lost to the darkness.
the thing, all great movements require a few martyrs. So it is an unfortunate situation.
They ruined Killer Instinct, man. I don't care what.
I love that game.
But you know what, John? It looks like Street Fighters. I don't doubt that it's a fun game. I think it looks fun, but it ain't. To me, that's not Killer Instinct. It's the characters in Killer Instinct fighting like Street Fighters. That's what I always see. But
that is exactly what the game is.
But I don't doubt it's a good game though. But let's look at Nintendo. What and since John started Microsoft, and Try, you kind of gave what you think. You said Nintendo don't need to do anything. Just weigh it out.
Yep.
You don't think they need to work on the perception?
No. What perception of what? That's like them bowing down to the whims of the community, saying that they should. Oh, Nintendo, you should do this to change your perception. Like, remember what I said earlier in the show? Perception isn't reality. Reality is reality. People's perception are people's perception. Once Nintendo gives in to the perception of the people, especially the media, lose. The minute Nintendo ever... You know who did this? There's a company that did exactly that, and they're gone. Sega. You know it. Which company did this? Sega. They bowed to the whims of the media because the media use EGM and Gamers Republic and Game Pro and all of that to change their image. Guys are paying, and people cannot tell me because I was there back in those days when the scandals were going on where gaming companies were paying reviewers to write bad reviews for other gaming companies, paying their editors. And this is what a lot of these guys were caught on, and that's why I'm glad the internet came in because they got rid of those magazines. So, people could now get to review their own stuff. I'm glad for the vlog era now, so people can see the games for what it is. So you can't hide bad games anymore, and you can't hide good games. You see it for what it is, straight out, straight off the bat. But for these companies, they had a chance to make things good, and they didn't. So for what it is, where it is right now, the best thing for these guys to do is just let everything go. Like, Nintendo doesn't have to do anything. Just let it go. Let these guys do what they got to do. It's not going to hurt Nintendo. If it was going to hurt Nintendo, it would have hurt Nintendo a long time ago. It's not going to go anywhere. Let the industry break itself, break its own back. After it break its own back, then Nintendo come in and does the damage control.
Okay. John, what you think?
Everyone will hate Nintendo. Everyone will love Nintendo for it.
Jump on in there, John.
When they did their financial report, and they were saying that they were going to spreading out their
IPs
and stuff to other companies and stuff. I think that's what when they said that, I didn't have no words. Because I knew exactly what because I knew that it's not going to happen right away. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to say 2014 is 2014. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But do you know what that means though?
Yeah, I think it means that it's going to be make it to where they're going to have other people help them with their games. Like, it's going to make it to where they make games faster than what they're doing.
It's almost like what they did.
Because a lot of people,
with Capcom and Zelda,
a lot of people,
Wind Waker.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that because this is the same wash, rinse, repeat story that happened, and everyone tried to blow it out of proportion. Oh, Mario's going to another system. Nintendo's like, we never said that. Where you people going with this? We just said we're going to have other people working on our characters and our content. And then everyone's like, oh my goodness, they're going to give it to like Microsoft. No. Behave yourself, people. Like, fanboys, stop it.
Yeah,
you're reaching. No, you're reaching.
The last Warzone. Yep. That's all I'm saying. Because that's what they were sitting there saying. Yeah, could you picture this? I was like, what are you talking about? It's not what they were talking about.
Don't that kill y'all though that they don't want Nintendo, but they want Nintendo IPs? It's like, okay, you don't want.
Oh, that's the best That is the best.
You want? You
we don't want Nintendo kiddie games. We want serious games. Oh, Mario's coming to Microsoft. Oh, let's go to Like, wait, you just said you don't want kiddie games. Hypocrites.
So,
Caught.
right. So Microsoft. You said, John. You said Microsoft need to refresh me again. What you said about Microsoft?
They just need to focus more on their first party things. But
Right.
as far as me as a consumer and me, so I'm happy with Microsoft. I'm happy with what they're doing.
Yeah, I think
I love the Kinect. I like motion gaming. I'm not even going front. I like that stuff. I was like when the Wii came out, I was like, oh yeah, this is dope.
And check this out, man. An Active Gamer Life said this, and he made a lot of sense. People, and I argue with folks a lot. You know, I go back with different individuals a lot about motion gaming being gimmick. I'm like, wait a minute. A gimmick is something that is a gimmick is almost a lie. It's something that tricks you, and it's like a trick to make you buy something. The Wii remote wasn't a gimmick because it wasn't a trick. It was fact. It was when you played Wii Sports, it proved that it was beyond gimmick. I can't help it that the Move might have never made a game that matched, but when you go play Metroid Prime, you could never tell me that the Wiimote was a gimmick. When you play Zelda Skyward Sword, you can never tell me that the Wii remote was a gimmick. When I play certain games with the gamepad, you could never tell me that the gamepad is a gimmick. What has happened, and we finna move into the next portion of this last topic. The gaming media is a joke. Now the question is the gaming media a joke? Now let me jump this off. I tried to get Torrance Davis to jump on this
I'll go last on this.
But he said no thank you, but he did tell me to let everybody know that his answer is yes. The gaming media is a joke. Now this is how I set it up, and I'll let John go first. And John responded to this question, so I know you remember it, John. You retweeted it. I said 60% of the gaming media are drones. The other 40% are bought. None are credible. Make up your own minds, buy what you like, research for yourself. Because if you are listening to these people, you're never going to get a real understanding of what you should or shouldn't buy for your taste. It's better to do the research yourself, because the gaming media, and I'll let John start it off, to me, in my personal opinion, and I include everybody, I don't care if I like you or dislike you, it's a joke. So, John, what do you think? Is the gaming media a joke nowadays?
Okay. I'm just gonna say that I've been so-called in the media for about 7 years. This is going on 7 years. And I'm gonna tell you, it's a fucking big, fat, flying fucking joke. I'm sorry, curse and all that, but it's a joke. And I'm gonna tell you why it's a joke. Let's take the music industry, right? What you gotta do to be qualified in the music industry? To be qualified to say that you're in the music industry?
Sell, I would think.
You gotta sell something, right?
Right.
You gotta sell something. You just sell beats, or you're selling your music, or you work for a company that you're getting paid for, right? Okay, let's think that. And you still do the same thing for the movie industry. You do the same thing for any other industry, right? Just think about that. Now just think about that. Now look at the gaming industry. This is a 90% of these people aren't getting paid to do what they do. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So ask yourself that. Why is that? I'm already jumbling my words. Just ask yourself this. What does it take to be in the gaming industry? And I'm gonna give you my personal story. I'm gonna tell you it takes nothing. It takes absolutely nothing. When how I got into the industry was, I was looking on TV. I was like, dang, I want to go to CES. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Unlike other people, I'd say, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I went on the CES site. I went to hit register. I was trying to say, well, okay, what do I need to do this? Okay, now I need this. And at the time, my cousin had Full Effect Entertainment, and which was a promotion for throwing parties and stuff. And then his friend had a TV store called Direct Electronics. So I was like, well, I can't use Direct Electronics because I don't want it to backfire on him. But I said I can use this Full Effect. So I said I called it a Full Effect TV store or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I went in as a buyer.
Okay.
And so I faked my way into CES. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I made.
You know why I'm laughing? You know why I'm laughing? Because you cannot do this in no other industry as media. Only video games can you do this nonsense in. That's why the video game journalistic field is a joke. You know what's so funny? In every other field of entertainment, sports, or profession, whatever you want to call it, you need a degree. That's what you need. You don't need a business card in a business. You need a degree as a journalist to cover something. If you don't have that degree, you don't get in. Period.
Or
but in video games,
you don't get in.
Yeah, but in video games, you can get in. You like Sony PlayStation? Yeah, all right. Let me hook you up with this. This field is
Go finish that story. Finish that story.
Yeah, sorry.
I called it Full Effect TV store or whatever, and I went to what's that little business card site? I went there, made some business cards, came up.
Oh, Vistaprint.
Vistaprint, yeah. I made some.
The number one sponsor for fake media passes in the video game industry.
Yeah, and so I went there, got the business cards, registered. And it's like, okay, you just need to, I got approved. So I was like, okay. I was like, damn, that was easy. I was like, so I'm still nervous. Don't get it wrong. I'm nervous as fuck. And I'm sitting like thinking like, oh shit, it worked. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, now they're saying bring your ID and bring the business card with you to, when you bring the thing to get your pass. I'm like, oh shit. Is this really gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh shit. So I bought my plane ticket. You know what I'm saying? Plane ticket. I went down there. You know what I'm saying? This is after the words because I know dudes on games on Smash, right? These are a bunch of guys on PlayStation. They decided to make their site. They went about it the right way. They made their site and started going. They did that. Then I kind of knew Torrance Davis, but I didn't know him that well, but I knew him a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now, so I'm going in there. I'm like, cause they was going. I was like, okay, cool. I'm gonna be all right. I know some people that's going. You know what I'm saying? I knew Games on Smash was going. I knew Torrance was going. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I'll be all right. I know some people. You know what I'm saying? I can pull this off. You know what I'm saying? So I went. I flew down there. I gave my stuff because I was nervous. I was like, I handed my ID, handed my business card, and they just looked at me. You know what I'm saying? Because here's this young dude up here, like, what's he doing here? You know what I'm saying? So I gave it to him, and they gave me the badge. You know what I'm saying? They gave me the badge. They gave me the badge holder, and I kind of stood there like, is there something else I'm supposed to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, they just say, no, it's all. There you have. Enjoy your show. I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So I went
Disgusting. That's
crazy. Go ahead, I'm listening.
So I went in. I did my show, did the thing. People started asking me all kind of questions. I'm like, hell, what the fuck? They say, well, so how many TVs do you sell? So I just sell every now. I sell a little bit every now and then, you know. And it started. I was like, shit, I was getting nervous, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, they about to put me out, you know what I'm saying? And so then, but it got after the second day, I kind of like, you know what, whatever. They put me out, they just put me out. You know what I'm saying? This is one of once in a lifetime things that you just try out. Hey, you know what I'm saying? But then Torrance, I talked to Torrance and I was talking to Games on Smash. They got me into a couple of little after parties or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I came
Actually,
back.
you know something? Now, finish what you're going to, because I'm going to comment on the after parties. I'm going to tell you what this whole thing is about. I'm going to give you guys the full rundown on some real, finish what you're saying. Finish what you're saying.
So I did that, and I was like, I got that. So after the end, basically, the end of the long story short, I had fun. I got the thing. I got to see some new stuff, whatever. And then I was like, okay, next I say, well, I want to do that again. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what's the next event that's coming up? E3. I was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, but I don't want to really go through all that stuff that I went through before. You know what I'm saying? Mm. So I was like, what can I do? Oh, Torrance. yo, can you get me in the E3? He's like, here's what I'll do for you, man. You make me a video talking about, just making me a video just talking about something about the game industry or whatever, right? I'm gonna let the fans vote. You know what I'm saying? If they bring you on, then you can, you know what I'm saying, you do some reviews, you do some stuff, and then I'll let you come with me. You know what I'm saying? You do some articles and stuff, I'll let you come with me. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm down for that, I can do that. You know what I'm saying? I did it. They voted me in, and then that's how I became part of the Big Bag.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so I became part of the Big Bag and started doing that stuff, and all through this, it's like, you know, like how Beanie Siegel said, y'all fools try hard to get into the rap game, I just did it. Well, that's how I feel about the gaming industry. Right. Y'all trying hard, I just snuck in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I didn't take advantage of it like other people took advantage of it. I actually did my work. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If he told me to go there, and when I went there, he said, hey, this is what you're doing. You take pictures, and you're to take pictures, and then you're to talk about your experience. You know what I'm saying? So I said, cool, I can do that. That's no problem. I'm saying, hey, you got me into something that I've been trying to get into. So yeah, cool. I ain't got no problem with that. And I do my work, and I do what I was supposed to do. Whatever assignment I had to do. The next year I went to E3, the following year I went to E3 or CES. I had an assignment, cover this system, cover this company, whatever, and I do it. You know what I'm saying? But it was that. But the moral to my story is, it didn't take nothing for me to get in this. You know? It didn't take no credentials, no nothing for me to get in this. And then, after matter of fact, I took a hiatus from the Bit Bag for like about a year and a half, 2 years, and I started my own site. I said, you know what? I wanted to start my own site. I started Full Effect Gaming. And then I started going to all the events as Full Effect Gaming, you know? And it was just me, by myself, doing everything, you know? And I got firsthand look at different things. And but I always stood to myself, and I sat back and I just looked and listened to what everything and everybody was doing. Because I always still, even though I was in it, I always still felt out of place because I felt like I didn't deserve it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I always still sat back, and I just sat back and listened. Then after a while, I started listening. I'm like, these motherfuckers don't know what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? I was like, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm sitting listening to this dude. He don't even look like he want to be here. These are the people, the actual people that are actually getting paid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, damn, this dude, he looks like he bored. He don't want to be here. The dude, developers trying to tell him about the game. He's sitting up there looking at his watch and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, this dude is tripping. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and it just kept going, years. But it's like I started noticing, like, all these people, the people that are getting paid, they don't really play the games. They're just yapping. Then you got the other people, they're just in it because they want to get free games. Then I started noticing a trend. It's like, anybody's just making sites, and they just going to E3 and going to these PAXs and all this stuff is media. Everybody's just making sites. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly why E3 changed their policies and to do the crackdown on the general public coming in, because E3 was never made for the general public. It is a trade show. It is a business show. And they were tired of people creating these false websites with this false perception that they care about the video game industry when they do not. These guys are just fanboys. Like they use it. Not to cut into your story, but so I could just, cause I want to support your story in what you're saying. You know how you said you felt like, you kind of felt like you didn't deserve it? Well, believe it or not, in a sense you kind of did deserve it, and you deserve to be there, and I'll tell you why. Because you hustled. Your entire story that you just told, in my whole mind, I had the music hustling. In my mind, that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, you did what you had to do to get in. But the rest of these people, right, they don't care about the gaming industry. This is what they do. And this is a part of I guess their, how can I say this? This is how they live in their world. This is the world that they want to live in and how they want to portray themselves in this world. So to them, it is very important for them to keep their stature, of what they do. in this world. And by going to these events, that's what they do. When they go to E3, they tell their friends, oh, I was at E3. It's like a status symbol. They don't care about it. They're not journalists. They don't care about what's going on, the real issues, and they never will care, because at the end of the day, these guys are not even getting paid for it. It is later on that they meet some guy who gives them a connection for them to finally get paid for what they got into it for. And when they get into it, then they end up turning into the person you just said. That guy looks like he's bored and he doesn't even want to be there because it's a job and he doesn't like the job anymore. So it's a bunch of, that's the word for it. It's a bunch of pretentious nonsense going on. None of these people really care about the industry. Oh, this is not their life's work. They start off as passionate fanboys trying to prove something to their friends, and then once they get in and they see it for what it really is, which is a waste of time, a bunch of people arguing over these let's not say trillion, but of these billion-dollar companies making money while they're reporting it for them for free, and what they're getting out of it is just video games. They get the first to get the game free. It becomes pathetic. They start to look at them like, yo, I'm like 30-something years old, and I'm writing this article for this video game company so I can get the game free first? Like, what am I, 12? And that's when the reality pushes in on them, and they go, I don't even care about this anymore. And then they stop. That's what happened to me. And I'm not even afraid to admit it. I used to be a raging fanboy for Nintendo, arguing with my friends all the time over this nonsense and back and forth. And I was like, something, I'm going to go work for GameStop. And, well, at the time it was Babbage's or Software, etc., before it turned into GameStop and whatnot. And I used to just, I'm going to go into the industry and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to find out, I'm going to prove to these guys that they're wrong about Nintendo. And when I got in there and I saw it, I was like, Nintendo is not in any trouble. Nintendo does not care. Nintendo's not even trying to defend themselves, because in the grand scheme of things and the reality, the attacks that's being put on them is not hurting them. So I'm saying to myself, Triforce, why are you fighting for them? They didn't ask you to fight for them. You're not winning a Super Bowl championship for this. You don't get paid for this. Stop it. This is stupid. It's childish. And I was like, I'm done with the system war nonsense, because this is actually stupid overall. But other people have not grown out of it. You got people in their 30s, like mid-20s, 30s, going on 40s, still doing it. And I just laugh. I find it funny because it's actually hilarious when you see them arguing about it. It is funny. And I'm like, this is bad. It's terrible. This is all for social acceptance. This is disgusting. It goes down to a social human level. Like, the truth behind it is you play what you like.
Yep.
Period.
And to piggyback on that, and what the topic is, they have figured out that this is the way to make money. And this is why the gaming media is a joke. I set up an example. A dude from you that follow me on YouTube sent me a video of IGN. I think they was either reviewing or showing a Nintendo game. Mm-hmm. In the Nintendo game, before it came on, it says, this video is sponsored by Sony.
What?
Now, I didn't know what he said. He just told me to watch it. He just said, you're going to catch it. Now, I said, wait a minute. You showing Nintendo product and the video is sponsored by Sony? Are you reviewing a Nintendo product and this video is sponsored by Sony? Then how can you give an
unbiased opinion?
Unbiased, or let's say you're reviewing something from Sony. If Sony is paying you, how can you say anything negative about the person who paying you money? And this is the same thing this is the same thing that happened with Spike TV. And people got mad at me, Michael Pachter and all them. That's when he cussed me out on Twitter. What had happened was, I said Jeff Keighley them want some jokes. I said, this is a joke. And he came on, he got mad cause, I said some things. I said, man, you get paid to say what you say. This is money for you. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but he has learned that trolling Nintendo and trolling and making certain fan bases rile up and rally behind him gets him paid more. And the more he realized this, the more he gonna do it. And then you started seeing micropackagers out of the blue just start making all these crazy videos. Well, so what I did was I went and looked up who owns Spike TV. Then which is MTV, if I'm not mistaken. Then MTV is owned by their mother company, which I think is Viacom or something like that. And
it is Viacom.
Viacom got paid by Microsoft almost $500 million for marketing and promotion, and to use any of their properties to promote Microsoft. Now, do you think Spike TV is gonna say something negative about a company that just paid them $500 million? Oh
my goodness, this is disgusting.
This
is worse. This is worse than government and politics. In fact, it's the exact same thing. This is nonsense, man.
And so it's like this information is out here. Now that's why, like John and like I said, when I ran into Torrance, talking to you, Triforce, talking to John, talking to my boy K-Bum, talking to Live, people who ain't caught up in the fanboy aspect of it, you rise above the water, you start to see stuff for what it is, and you ain't as scared to say and give your opinion as much, and you ain't worrying about what people, because you see it for what it is. The whole situation, like I said, the whole media, everything you see in the media, like Jay-Z said, I think he said, believe half of what you hear, none of what you see, or believe is either one or the other way he said it. But in other words, everything you're seeing, you should believe half of that. You shouldn't believe hardly nothing you hear.
But it goes back to the primary rule: perception isn't reality.
Right.
So
but that's what
go ahead,
that's what people want to believe, though.
So like, after doing this stuff, start getting reviews, and I started getting review counts. I'm like, I used to think like, oh damn, this is the shit. I get free games. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, this is the shit. I can do this all. I can do this for real. Then I stopped for a second. I was like, wait, this ain't fucking payment. I said, what the fuck is this? I said, this is free advertisement.
Right.
Product placement.
Yeah, I was like, hold on. And people like, no, man, you get the game for free. That is payment. I said, no, I said, let me go to you. I said, you work at wherever you work at, right? You get a paycheck. That's your payment. And whatever, if you get a discount, or if you get your free drinks, or you get something like that, I said, that's a perk. I said, getting free games is a perk. And I said, you know what? I'm even going too far in saying it's a perk. I said, when I started really looking at it, I said, I don't even view it as that. I view it as a tool to do my job. I can't do a review if you don't give me the game.
Exactly. Right. So it's not. It's nothing actually.
And let me ask you this, John. Did you ever feel obligated? Like, okay, I wonder how these people felt that go to these events that they get invited to, and Sony or Microsoft or even Nintendo, right? Come out and give them free Xbox Ones or free PlayStation 4s. Don't that kind of make you feel obligated to be kind?
Yes, I was always that because I realized early, and I'm glad I realized it early, is that I wasn't getting paid, so I had the mindset like, you know what, F you, I don't care, you know what I'm saying, I'm not getting paid, you know what I'm saying, so I'm gonna do what I want to do. But when I got the free games and stuff, I did feel obligated not to really trash them, cause I got some shitty ass iPhone games and stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I got some shitty ass iPhone games. I got some RTSs, which I loathe RTS games. And I got those games that I had to review. And it's like, one part of me is like, you know what? I don't like this shit. I really want to get on video and say, I don't like this shit, and this shit is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, one part of me is like, you know what? I can't fucking do that. Cause if I do that, then I'm kind of burning bridges for myself. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, I was like, who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? But then I was like, you know what? Here, I know what I do. I just be honest. I'll be honest. I tell them, like, this is not my thing, and this is not something that I would buy, but there are people that might like this game. And that's how I used to go at my reviews, you know what I'm saying? When you'll see, if you do look at reviews or whatever on my channel, one of my channels or whatever, you'll see that a game that I don't like, I'll be like, I won't buy it, but you might like it. You know?
Right.
That is a fair review.
And so
that's a fair thing.
I used to come in like that, but then I started thinking like, you know what? I stopped looking at the people because everybody around me is like, yo, just getting free games. That's for everybody. That's the 80% of these people out here. That's what they're doing it for because they want to get the free games.
They can't just buy it.
That's what I was thinking. Like I was like, I would rather buy my game and not fucking review it and enjoy my damn game. Cause
I remember a video I think in Warzone you actually said that. I remember you saying that that's what you just said.
Yeah, I said it a lot of times because I was like, I got tired of reviewing games because like another thing is you got a deadline. You know what I'm saying? You get a game and you got to hurry up and review the game 3-4 days later or at the longest I think I had was 7 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't want to fucking rush through the damn game like that. I was like, who plays their games like that? You know what I'm saying? I don't play my games like that because I especially if I buy them. If I beat your game in a week, I'm pissed off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
that's some real G stuff right there, man.
And so I'm sitting there like, damn, I gotta hear about it. So I'm playing through the game. I go, okay, now it took 3 days. I got 1 day left, right? I'm like, fuck, now I gotta fucking write. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit. So I'm sitting there writing. I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, this is stupid. Why am I doing all this shit? You know what I'm saying? I was like, and this is not payment. Let's say I don't like the game. Okay, what the fuck do I care about keeping the game I don't like?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, this is stupid. I was like, I'm done. I said, Tony, I was like, you know what? I appreciate it, but I'm done with reviews. I don't want to do reviews no more. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm done with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Cause I was like, I just started thinking like, the company should pay me for this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, to be honest with you, I was like, but then at the same time, then that traded down some other waters that other people talk about too, though. But I just felt like, I don't know, I just feel like, you know, this is stupid. I'm not getting paid for this. The games that I actually liked that I was reviewing, I don't want to play them no more because I rushed through them now. It's over. The experience is over.
So you get jaded a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just asking, cause see, you know, you and Try are on the other side of that proverbial fence. You get to see it, like certain things and certain elements. Even just sitting down talking to you guys, I get to see a different perspective of an industry that I love. You know what I'm saying? And I always felt like the media, you know, listening to media, and especially when you seeing stuff like that, far as like sponsored by Sony, sponsored by Microsoft. Microsoft pays Viacom. Viacom owns Spike TV. How can you get anything? How can you get any unbiased, untainted review? The only company that gets, and it's like Nintendo, because they don't shell out this money to have this stuff happen, it's like they have become that ugly stepchild in the house that doesn't yield to what most want to happen. Like third party they won't pay them. I listened to different, I got into a back and forth with, Marcus Beer one time.
Oh, that dude. Oh.
He a joke. I told you I'm gonna be uncandid in this one. I don't care who it is. Anyway, I was listening to him on, podcast or whatever they got. I can't even think of the name, I ain't watching it, so I haven't been a game.
Round Table or whatever.
Yeah. I haven't, not Round Table, it's the one that they do. You got Round Table with Jeff Keighley, then you got, the one that they do. But anyway, Wired something like, I don't know, it's some, thing they did. But anyway, I used to listen to him down Nintendo. So I went back and forth with him on Twitter, and I asked him, so what have you played on the Wii U? Cause he couldn't stand the Wii U. The Wii U was this, the Wii U was that. I asked him, what have you played? He hadn't played the Wii U. He said, when Nintendo send me one, I will play it. I was like, well, how can
if you never play it, how can you sit there and bash it?
Right. How can you have an opinion on something? This is exactly what I asked him. How can you have an opinion on something that you have never played?
Now watch this now. And then, the minute you asked him that question, he got infuriated.
Yeah, he got mad and he started getting all ugly. So this is what happened. Check this out. A few months later, Nintendo sent him a Wii U.
Oh,
right? The moment they
See, I love when Nintendo does that.
The
like,
moment they sent them one, then his whole tone and his whole disapproval of the Wii U left strictly because Nintendo did what he wanted them to do, like what John is saying, he got something for free. And I was like, oh, so that's what it is. If you don't give me what I want, I dog you in the press. I make you mad because you didn't give me the interview I wanted. You didn't tell me the information I wanted. So I'm just gonna dog you in your product.
Perfect example. What's that dude? What's his name? The big boy.
Is it Jeff
video. No, the fat boy. I shouldn't call him fat because I'm fat too, but big fat white boy.
Oh, Richard Vutek.
No, not him. He's a joke too. But
he's a joke, yeah. Dang, I'm trying to think. Is it what show is he on?
I don't know. He has his own YouTube thing, but basically, Major Nelson went to his house and stuff.
Okay.
But basically, he was talking mad shit about Microsoft, right? Mad shit about them. So blah blah. You know, and it was cool that everybody was talking mad shit about Microsoft. So basically, Major Nelson not only gave him a Xbox One, but flew to his house and showed him everything. Flew to this dude's house. I'm sitting there like, and, he's like, yeah, I really like this console. It's different. I'm sitting like, wow, you
talking about the fat one that got the PlayStation 4 and was screaming all over the place?
Yeah, that dude.
I don't watch his stuff. He get on my nerves.
Yeah, I'm sitting like, then I said, he talked stuff about what's the name. Then when he came, when Merrick Nelson came there, he came to his house. I'm like, why is he coming to this dude's house? Who the fuck is this dude?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like he came to his house, gave him an Xbox One, and all this stuff. And I'm sitting there like, now he changed his tune. Now he likes it. Now he still was kind of talking a little bit about it. Cause I give him that he still was talking a little bit of stuff, but actually, his whole tune changed a little bit though.
Right.
He's like, yo, man, I kind of like this. This is pretty cool. And this something. But I still like my PlayStation 4 better. I'm sitting there like, wow, these motherfuckers is faux fake.
Yeah, dude, is money. Like you said, why did Major Nelson show up there? Because this boy got 1 million something subs. So in every video he make is getting 2 and 3 million views. He generating a lot of attention. So of course they're gonna come, and that's where his power lies.
Now I got a question to ask y'all.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're with the exception of IGN, GameSpot, Game Trailers, and the big name people. When you look at any other websites, what are the most popular websites and what do they cater to?
Kotaku, eh?
Honestly, that's a bad. They're all bad. In my opinion,
no. What system do they cater to?
Oh, PlayStation.
Okay. Now you see what the thing is. If you make a PlayStation site, you're very successful.
Right.
But then you talk about any other system, it's not as successful. Your site's not as successful.
Right.
But it's like it's funny the way the industry works. It's like when you sit, I'm like.
But the sad thing about it is IGN is pretty much PlayStation.
No, that's not with the exception of them. I understand that. I already know because they getting paid.
Right, they getting
paid for the stuff. And which is another bringing to another point. It's like when I seen that the amount of money that these people get for advertisement, I started looking at the business side. I was like, you know what? Where's my cut?
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. You can't expect. And when you listen to you, like, why don't you hear the truth about Sony? Why don't you hear the truth? Why is all this negative blitz on Microsoft? Even though Microsoft did mess up themselves, but a lot of it lies in the media blitzing the Microsoft brand.
You know what's so funny? What was everybody mad about Microsoft about? The always online thing, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What is all these PlayStation people excited about?
Online, paying for online?
No, not even that. The other one. That they just talked about. The PlayStation Now thing or whatever.
Yeah.
What you gotta do? What's that?
Subscription based to play games, right?
No, not the PlayStation Plus. The PlayStation Now thing, where you play all the old games.
Okay.
The old Sony games, all that. You can play it on the TV. You can play it on the on your PlayStation. You play it on all these other devices.
Wow, right?
Oh, yeah. You mean the virtual console for Sony?
Yeah, that thing, right? What do you have to have in order to play that?
Internet.
What do you have to be in a world, you have to be online to play that, right?
Right.
Always, right?
Right.
So why is it that that's okay, but when Microsoft did it, it's bad?
Because it's Sony doing it.
Exactly. And you see how they all up and up. Oh my God.
Oh, let me show you this. And this what I was coming at hip hop about. Right? Look at the gamepad. The gamepad is unnecessary. It's unnecessary. It's now I ain't gonna say hip hop said this, but I'll never forget the video that he made where when the Vita was being, they were trying to market the Vita as the answer for the PlayStation 4 to the gamepad. All of a sudden everybody was jumping behind the technology of dual screens with the smart glass and the Vita, but when the gamepad and the Wii U done it, it was a gimmick. I don't want
to look away from the TV.
Right, I can't do it, but now it's all, and I can go here and I was listening to him, I was like, wait a minute, man. The gamepad was designed with the system. The Vita was not designed to do that. It might be able to try to emulate what the gamepad was designed to do, but it would never outdo the gamepad. And it wasn't until Digital Foundry came out and said, even though the Vita and the PlayStation 4 does work together, it does not give you exactly what the gamepad does, because the gamepad was designed from the ground up. But it was a joke when Nintendo did it. You know, Kinect is a joke. You know, online is a joke, and paying for online, really?
Oh, yeah.
And then Sony turns around and charges you. Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, because like, you know, they say, I'll never.
This industry is a joke, man. It's a joke.
Online. I'll never pay for that.
Like, listen to this. Check this out, man, and I'll never forget it. I saw it's a game that is not coming to the Wii U. I can't think of the name of it.
Saints Row 4?
Yeah, and the dude said, why isn't it coming to the Wii U? Right? Mm-hmm. This is what the developer says, because the best games on the Wii U are built from the ground up.
That's why
they're not bringing their game. I'm sitting there, I'm like, what kind of...
Who makes Saints Row?
I can't think of them right now, man.
Who makes Saints Row? I would just like to know. Because a company like that makes that statement means they don't care about the consumer base. They only care about their profits, and they're not going to make... And I want to know their names so I don't buy their games. Because if you have a good game...
John, I can't remember.
I think it's violation, but hold on, I'm looking it up right now to try to make sure.
The crazy thing about it, go ahead, try.
That right there that's something you don't, whoever said that, I'm telling, if you ever hear this, the CEO of the company that makes Saint Row, fire that person. That person deserves to lose their job, because they're doing your organization a disservice and misrepresenting you. You can't go out on the limb and say, well, the reason why we don't make a game from a particular system is because the game is not being built from the ground up. You always leave the door open. You never know when you may need to do business with another company. Who knows if Sony or Microsoft is going to be around here long enough for you to say that one-sided comment.
Right.
These people are
but
idiots.
Let's take a step farther.
It's Deep Silver and Volition.
Yeah, Volition. There it is. But let's take it a step farther, Triforce. This is why I say this the gaming media is a joke. When Rayman Legend got delayed so that all the games, all the other systems will be released at the exact same time, that was no problem, right? The Wii U, they pulled it. Now I might be, don't think I'm, cause I'm using the Wii U, I'm trying to show guys something where the media is retarded. Now you're a journalist, the journalist is supposed to ask those questions and try to find out why and then push the envelope. Well, that's not fair. Or, okay, Watch Dogs coming out. The only version delayed is the Wii U version.
Why?
No reason why.
There has to be a reason why. They can't just delay it and then not give a reason.
They wanted to focus on the other the other platforms to make those successful. So
wait. Okay, time out. Hold on. I don't understand this. So they're gonna delay a game on one system so they can focus on releasing it for the others?
Yes, that's exactly what that's exactly what Ubisoft said. Now, back when Rayman Legends was supposed to come out in February, now, Judge, you remember this, they delayed it so that they all can release simultaneously. They did not want to stagger the releases.
Yep.
Now, the journalists are here. This is what a journalist is supposed to do. Well, Ubisoft, remember back with Rayman Legend? You changed that date so that you would not do what you're doing now. Is that fair? Is that balanced? Does that make sense? But they don't do that. What they do is use this as another reason to spam or get clickbait and start a war with fanboys over how the Wii U is just unsuccessful. They don't ask the hard questions. They just make it into they make a clickbait headline and, Wii U loses another title. Watchdog delayed. But they don't say, man, this is kind of crazy. Why would Ubisoft do this when ain't Ubisoft going against what they just said before? They don't say that, because that ain't going to get as many hits. So it's just a joke, man, because if I was there, I would have been asking, okay, so wait a minute. What about this?
They won't answer it.
They ain't gonna
No, they won't answer it. Like, that's another reason why I said this whole industry is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Because the questions that you really want to ask, they won't answer them.
Right.
They'll either go, say no comment, we can't talk about that at the time, we can't speculate.
I put that in my article. I'd be like, we asked them this, they wouldn't answer. Like when CNN asked some politicians some hard questions, they like the politician wouldn't respond, wouldn't answer this question, but they let you know what they asked.
Yeah, you can do that. People ask that, but and they put it in the article and say, well, they wouldn't talk to us, but then nobody pays attention to that. Okay. They'll pay attention to the little whatever you spin it as.
All right.
And that's another thing. The 90% of the problem with the gaming industry and with the gaming media lies on the fans.
Right.
If the fans would stop feeding into the bullshit, the people would stop feeding you bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, as me being let's say I'm a journalist, right? If I could probably be more popular than what I am if I just went and started talking everything about Sony. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I fed them the bullshit. If I fed them the bullshit that they want to eat. I don't want to feed you the bullshit that you want to eat. I want to feed you some carrots and grapes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want to feed you the healthy shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the problem is. But that's what gets the hits, feeding the people the bullshit. You know? I'm going to something else. What's the name dropped?
Yeah, so I'm getting back. Go ahead.
Now, let's just talk about N4G, right?
Uh-huh.
Take N4G out the equation and where are 90% of these sites. Think about that for a second.
Ask it again. Say it again.
Take N4G out the equation.
Uh-huh.
And where are 90% of these sites? Nothing.
Right.
You don't hear about them. They nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't have, all they do, they force is, here's a site. I'm not blaming N4G. It's just, people use it as a crutch. The media uses this place as a crutch. Because without this place, they don't really do any real work.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do any real work. This site is a crutch. And so, basically, it's become, what do you call them things where you feed the dogs, the little dog bowls or whatever?
Treats.
No, the little bowls, the bowls. Like, whatever, a bowl. They feed them the bowl, right? You feed the dog the bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And you feed, this better estimate. What's the little pig thing that you know where you feed pigs?
Stein? Pig Stein?
No, I forgot what it's called. We're a little slide. We throw
you talking about the ride or something like that?
No, where you feed the pigs. Like you throw all the little leftover slops and stuff that you don't want, and that's basically.
Okay.
I can't think of it either. I can't.
Yeah,
think of it
but that's what N4G is. You know what I'm saying?
Slop. It's slop.
Yeah, it's the place where you throw all the slop, and that's where all the pigs come to eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't think. But he telling the truth though.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you get there, and what is the famous? What's the bullshit that everybody wants to eat now? Everybody wants to eat Sony. You know what I'm saying? They want to eat Sony and shit Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? So if you make an article talking about Sony, praising Sony, or something about Sony, you'll get hits. Put it on Info-G, you'll get hits. Matter of fact, you'll probably be on the front page. It doesn't even matter what the fuck it is. You put Sony in it, you'll be up there. You know what I'm saying?
As long as it's not negative.
As long as it's not negative, you'll be up there. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's not negative, you'll be up there. Now,
Shokio showed that. He showed that.
You show anything good about Nintendo or good about Microsoft, you're not really gonna get as much hits. Now you talk shit about them, you're gonna get all kind of hits. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get all kind of hits. And that's the way the industry is. And it's partly because of the people that are in it. If they would stop flocking to the bullshit, the media will be forced to actually give you content.
Right.
Let me jump in for a second because I have a question. All right, let's look at something here. Here's a real question. The people who become the representatives for the media in the gaming scene, both from whatever aspect of the industry you want to name it, whether you want to come in from esports, whether you want to come in from gaming, game development, whatever the case may be. Where did they get their credentials that justify them as a gaming journalist to talk about the topics of gaming? Who certified them? Nobody.
That's basically what I was trying to say when I said like how other people try to get into the industry. Like, that's why when we first talked about it, I said look at the other industries, right? And what's qualified? What do you look at to qualify yourself as being in the industry? Then you take that and flip it around and look at the gaming industry. It's a whole different story. Now, everybody's a fucking journalist now. It doesn't. Matter of fact, I was going to do a video series on this because I see it as in the YouTube community as far as like you, Levelhead, Live, Mr. T, what's his name, Active Gamer, Shokio, Nia and her his girlfriend, her site, and all these people. I see a new trend coming along where actual gamers are actually doing the shit right. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's why I wanted to start a video series showing them how to hone their skills, how to do different things. But the problem is they don't want to be in the media.
No, we don't. I don't want to be in the media. We don't want to deal with the nonsense. Yeah, we don't care.
But they need you. That's the whole thing.
YouTube is enough. It's hard for me to stay doing YouTube.
Yeah, but the thing is, you don't have that. You can stay doing exactly what you're doing.
Okay.
That's what when everybody I try, because I was just trying to get people to come to my site. Well, I don't got time. I'm not asking you to do nothing else. Just do what you're doing. Do what you're doing. Do what you're doing. We're gonna come to, if we all came together and make the little different sites that we have, come together, focus, keep doing what you're doing. Go to these events. A lot of these people, they don't know that they already have enough hits to get into these events, but they don't know it. You know what I'm saying? Like for YouTube, you only got to have a certain amount of subscribers and a certain amount of page views in order to get into qualified packs as a media.
How much do you need?
I think it's 50,000 subscribers. Last time I looked, I think it's 50,000 subscribers and something like that. But you can get around that by making sites, and it's just because the sites, when you do the hits on the sites, it's easier.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you do that. It's like, go to these events. They need you. It's time to fucking push these other people out.
You're right. I agree with that.
It's time to push
I'll agree. When I say I don't want to be, I don't like me. I like doing like when Torrance extended me to come on. Now I wrestle with it. You know what I'm saying? But I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try this out. He let me do what I do. He, like you saying, what I don't want to become Greg Miller. You know, I don't want to become them dudes. I don't want to be like them.
This is my thing. And you know how you don't become them? You stay doing what you're doing. The problem with the 90% of these industry people, and this is why a lot of people don't like me. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people here that they act like they like me, but they don't like me for real. Cause I come up here and I don't talk proper. No, I'm not going to talk proper. I don't give a fuck. You don't pay me. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking proper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and put a shirt tie on and talk all. I'm not doing all that. You don't pay me. When you pay me, okay, then I'll talk. Like at my job, I say yes sir, no sir, and all that because I can get paid. That's what I get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, sir? And yeah, I do all that. You know what I'm saying? It's that job because I'm getting paid. This I'm not getting paid to do. You know what I'm saying? This is gaming. This is fun. This is entertainment. I don't need to be that in order to do what I need to do.
Right.
And that's the problem with the people in the industry. They come in here and they try to change their whole image up to be something that they're not be. They want to be. They trying to imitate the Adam Sesslers, the Jeff Keighley's, all these other people from the people from.
My question is this is my question. Like, and I don't want to. I'm sorry. I don't want to question the validity of these people as.
There is no validity. They have no. There's nothing there is none. They're no different. They're no different from me and you. That's what I'm trying to tell people. That's what I'm. That's the whole.
Whoa! I don't want to toot my horn, but they're not in my class. They may get paid more than me, but in terms of the culture of gaming, they're not in my class.
No, what I mean by that, they're no different. Like.
They're no more special.
They're not special. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing like other than like that. That's why I say, with the exception of some people from IGN, some people from the big name sites. These are the only people that are really getting paid.
Guys like Sushi X from EGM, the gamers that grew up in this. Those guys are the people who have the legitimacy to speak on certain things, and that's just real talk. Like, but a lot of these other guys, like I consider
them in the right place at the right time with the right
consider them to be because, like, I sit there and say to myself, why is this person? What quantified this individual to be here? Who did he speak to? Who gave him the green light, or him or her? And it's
YouTube
sad because.
YouTube did it. And the internet did it. It's nothing. Like I'm really trying to tell people, there is nothing stopping you from taking their place. Nothing. At all. These people are not special. They didn't do nothing. Nothing that they're doing is special. The people that they talk to is not special. As a matter of fact, the people going to hate me for this, and I'm probably burning a whole lot of bridge. But 90% of these motherfuckers are liars. 90% of these motherfuckers are liars. They're not telling you the truth.
That's not burning the bridge. That's the truth. That's the truth. That is the truth. I've learned to carve. Oh, wait, one moment, guys. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
One something.
I'm glad you said that though, John. Cause it's all an agenda. It's an agenda being pushed, and they all push this agenda. They ride that agenda as long as it's feeding them money. Once a new agenda come in, if that's the money train, okay, say it like this. If Microsoft, when the 360 came out, 360 was the money train. PlayStation wasn't the thing. They rode the 360. They rode the 360 and the PlayStation 3 was pretty much for the first 2 years a joke to them. But because now Sony is the thing again, like I used the Wii. Before the Wii was a joke. Motion controls was a gimmick until a 50, 60 million was sold in 3 years. Then all of a sudden, yes, man, look at this. This is awesome.
No, they still think it's a joke. Now
they do, but at that time they was with it. They was
the real gamers was with it, but the media was still talking about it like it was a joke. There's no real games for it. I don't like motion control. But now here's the funny thing about that, because I've been trying to say this for a long. I'm still trying to find this Warzone. I've been trying to find, because I wanted to make a funny video about it. But
what is Warzone? What is Warzone?
It was
video game Warzone.
It was a podcast with Torrance Davis, Hip Hop Gamer, John Shaw, and a few other people from STFU and Play.com.
Now I'm trying to find this episode, but it was a long. I don't know. I want to say it might have been when you were still with the Bit Bag. I mean, when the Warzone was still at the Bit Bag. I'm not sure, but it's a video where we was talking about the Wii. And Hip Hop Gamer was like, I don't want to play no Wii. I don't want to waggle my hands in the air. Nobody wants to waggle their hands in the air and play those type of games, right? He was recorded saying that. I'm still trying to find what episode it is. And when I find it, it's going to be so funny. And he was on there saying that, right?
Uh-huh.
Then when the PlayStation Move came out, Oh my God, he flip flopped so hard.
Right. Oh.
He said, "Oh my God, this is outstanding. This is the greatest thing ever. You can put the thing in the gun. You can shoot the guns, and you can shoot it and play first person shooter. This is the greatest thing ever. This is the greatest."
Was he moving around, waggling his hands?
Yeah, waggling his hands. You know what I'm saying?
But like I said, I respect what dude do. But let's be honest.
That's my homie.
Cause he did.
Nah, man. No backpedaling. You can't get caught. You see, this is why you don't trash other stuff, because when you do that and then you get caught, you gotta fess up to when you get caught. You can't say A then say B, get caught, and then because we like a person because of their personality or personal stature, nah, man, you don't say. This is why personally I don't rag on the other systems, because the reality is that each system caters to something that you're going to like eventually. Each of them do. Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, and at the time Sega, they all have games that everyone's going to like. So you have your preference. I remember getting into a conversation when someone says, Triforce, which video game system do you like? And I said, oh, I love them all. And they said, no, you have to choose one. And I'm like, no, I don't have to choose one. First of all, you don't control me. You're not God. I'm not in a world, and don't try to create any stupid instance so you can suggest, imply, or try to create or manipulate a situation to cause a system war. I like them all. My preference, however, is Nintendo, but that is it. The thing is, they don't like people like that because those people tell the square truth, and you cannot create buzz. You can't get numbers with that. You can't get anything with that. So they need to find passionate gamers who want to go to war. War sells in every facet of human life, period. Anything based on conflict sells. If you're a pacifist or a peacekeeper, it doesn't sell. And they just don't want to talk about you. The only thing I'm willing to go to war with in the video game industry is the truth. I'm willing to find every lie and go to war and completely slaughter all those who are just lying. Through media anyway, not actual physical real slaughter. Just want to put that out there. But outside of that, if I'm not going to war over the truth, then it's nothing really worth fighting over.
And that's right. And going back to what John was talking about with the Wii and the Move, if you go back and you check out the debate me and Hip Hop had on Live and Level, we got to talking about, he got to expressing his love for the PlayStation 4 controller and how advanced and how it was moving the industry forward. And he was talking about, just follow me. He was talking about how it's doing what, it's doing stuff that no other controller is doing. So he brought up the touchpad on it. And I asked him, I said, well, doesn't the Wii U have a touchpad with the screen? Can't you touch the screen and do all that on the Wii U, gamepad? And he looked, he kind of paused. And I said, and on top of that, it got a screen in it. It got this in it. It got that. It's got everything that controller got and then some. So it's like, I see what you're saying. And that's why I said half of the industry is partial to a particular piece of plastic, and it screws and taints their view.
Yeah.
And then, you got the other portion getting paid. And then in some cases, both is happening. Both are tainted and getting paid. So how can you, now like I said, I ain't trying to throw nobody under, but being real. I said when we done the podcast, we're going to be real in this one. How can you be a legit bona fide journalist? How can you have a site that's claiming to be a site for media and fair and balanced coverage of a gaming community and the gaming industry when all these different things weigh at your authenticity and your authenticness?
Well, there's a simple answer. You can't.
Right.
If you, that's the reality there. If you're caught lying and being and giving preferential treatment to one particular brand, then your credibility should be questioned, and that's just that. You don't like it, then stop being biased. I tell people all the time, stop trying to ask me questions based on which one I think is better between Nintendo or whatever, because that's not fair. I'm a huge Nintendo enthusiast and supporter. My opinion is going to be biased. Does that mean that I think the opposition is bad? No, I think the opposition they're cool. I play some of their games and stuff like that, but my opinion is going to be based on that. But I'm never going to put down the opposite entity. But at the very same time, I'm not going to let the perception of other people's opinions distort the truth about Nintendo. See, say what you want to say about Nintendo, negative or good. But if you're going to say what you're going to say about Nintendo, negative or whether it may be good or bad, do it honestly. Right. That's all I'm saying. Just be honest. Nintendo does something wrong and they screw up on something and they're bad, call them out on it. But be honest. Don't lie. And don't try to exaggerate something that Nintendo did that perhaps is either neutral to try to make it bad, to push your point or your suggestion on another brand that you may be supportive of. Just be honest about it. Like when you guys was telling me Sony's laying off and they're closing these stores and blah, blah, blah. I didn't look at that, what you were telling me, and compare that to Nintendo. I compared that to business. When you start laying off employees and closing down stores, especially, how many stores you said they closed down?
At least 20 to 25 to 30, somewhere around there. It's in between 20 and 30. There's a lot of stores.
Are they in New York? That's the main thing. Are these stores in New York?
I think all their, like, when you go to Nintendo's spot in New York, all those chains that Sony have like that, I think a lot, like 20 to 30 of them were closed down. If not, I think all of them. I think that was all of the stores.
Yeah, they closed down the ones here too.
Oh, you mean the Sony Styles building?
Yeah.
There's a building in New York called Sony Styles. See, now this is what I'm trying to say, and I'm being fair about this from a business standpoint. If you're losing stores like that in a city like New York, this is bad business. This has nothing to do with Nintendo. I'm not saying this as a fanboy from Nintendo, but the way this is looking and the way this is sounding by what you guys, because this is news to me. You guys are putting me onto this. I did not know this was happening to Sony, but by what you guys are saying, Sony's done. That's a done deal right there. They're closing stores. They're laying off. I will not be surprised if they go, this is it. This is so, because remember, we had this discussion before, and we were talking about how this may be Sony's last run in the console market. And when you see the closing down of their stores and stuff like that, best believe they're already talking about their 5-year perspectives going out. And when you look at it from that point of view, they may not have the Sony PlayStation in their scope. The Sony PlayStation may be out. And it's not because, it's just business. Like, this ain't making us money. We gotta close it.
Right.
It's not because Nintendo's better than them. Like, right now, Nintendo isn't better than them in the regards that third party is not making any games for Nintendo in comparison to Sony. So when you look at it, Sony is doing better than them in terms of churning out games because they have third party support. But from the business standpoint, Nintendo's destroying them because their division may not even be alive for much longer, so to speak. Right. So, and that's where people have to look at these things. They have to look at these things from that standpoint. Stop being fans. Like, it's crazy, like how people can just be delusional to these companies that I'm not even paying them. Like, come on, man, grow. Actually, can't even.
And that's exactly, and that's where we pretty much exhausted all we can say. But that's what I was basically saying when I talked about it, even down to Nintendo. At some point, you got to transition from fan to consumer. And from a consumer standpoint, there is a lot of things I don't like. Now, from a fan, I can find every way to justify anything I want to justify. But when you have a person that went out and spent their money on a piece of plastic, I expect certain things as a consumer. I love you to death, but it's like my wife. Once I say I do, I love you, but there are certain things you're supposed to do. It don't
For real.
stop there. So yeah, I love you, but you still supposed to do certain things. I love Nintendo, but there's things that I require as a consumer, you know. So when it comes down to, like you said, business. When a direct come on, I expect as a consumer to see certain things. You know what I'm saying? As a consumer, so my eyes are not looking from a fan point of view no more. I'm looking as a consumer. I'm looking at what I invested in. Some of us have invested $2,000, $3,000 into this stuff. I expect certain things. I require certain things. And that's not, you know, to me, people want to stay in a fan realm and almost cheat themselves because they consider themselves fans. And it's like,
and there's nothing wrong with being a fan. There's nothing wrong with being a fan, but there's a time when you have to be, you know, you got to be a little bit realistic about certain things. Like,
right.
You know, these companies are making billions of dollars. They have a certain obligation and responsibility to their consumers to provide the best experience, service, or product, or whatever is it that they're selling to their consumers. And it's only right that if you have a qualm with that you voice your opinion so that they know, so that they can better service you. This is business.
And that's just business. So with that being said, man, any final thoughts, John? You got anything you want to?
Yeah, back to the question about the media. It's a joke. It is a joke. It's a straight, flat out, unadulterated joke.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and the only way that it's going to change is when us as the gamers change it. You know,
actually, not true. There's a way to change. There's a way to change it. Like right now, you can screw this whole scene up right now and make everything get real serious by simply saying everyone who considers himself to be a journalist or a media needs to go to school and get that paper to qualify. Watch how many journalists drop out because they ain't going to school for it. Watch how many drop out.
But here's the thing, though. Who does? I mean, like as far as like. That's the thing about this industry. It's like there is no governing body for it. It's like, right. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, there aren't governing bodies, but there are ways to govern it. Here's an example. Okay, I want to educate you guys, and this is in relation to the topic because the area I run in two different aspects of gaming. Competitive gaming, and then you have the gaming industry as a whole. And the same problem that you guys are talking about here is the same problem that we have in what we call esports, right? Esports you have some guys go around talking about they're esports journalists. And I laugh because I'm like, you're an esports journalist? What quantifies you to be an esports journalist? An esports journalist is supposed to be someone who is a journalist that covers competitive gaming, and they have a vast knowledge of it. On some, what's the name of this, Anderson Cooper type level. Like these guys live, you know, and breathe it. If anything, if you want to compare it to like ESPN, these guys would be like, Stephen A. Smith and what's this guy from First Take, and Skip Bayless. Those are like the real gaming journalists, so to speak. But then a lot of these guys don't even have those qualifications, to begin with, yet they're esports journalists. They don't know what they're covering. So here's a question, right? I want to ask you guys a question because this is show you the biasness in the esports realm. All right. Do you guys know what the number one winning video game team in the world is?
Arcade. Empire Arcadia.
Okay. Why? What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to be impartial here. So any situation I bring up, I'm going to always question why, because that's what a journalist is supposed to do. You're never supposed to just take an answer for it, but why?
Well, from my standpoint, I'm just now starting to follow the fighting game community.
Well, it's not a fighting game.
No, I'm not saying, but even that, I'm just even that, but but even back in the day, I've always heard Empire Arcadia. You know what I'm saying? It was Empire Arcadia. Like even like just from the whispers, like even if the competitive gaming scene, yeah. I've always heard Empire Arcadia, but I've never, not so much anything else. You know.
Yeah, this is right. And then I met you, so of course I'm gonna keep my ear too.
And then it wasn't until later that I heard about. What's the Evil Geniuses?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, other than that, I really don't know nothing else about it. That's the only people, like, as far as companies go, that's the only ones I know.
Okay, now I'm gonna show you what journalists don't do, right? I'm going to act like I'm not a journalist, but I'm going to act like an actual journalist. The reason why Empire Arcadia is the number one esports team, or the number one winning, and as a journalist, words are very, very, very important. Hold on. Words are very, very important. You have things like successful. You have things like winning. And those things separate the titles. To give you a prime example, Jonathan Fatality Wendell, at one point in his career, his brand named him the first pro gamer in history of competitive gaming, right? That later changed because the first pro gamer in history actually came to light. And they said, well, you have to prove it, because this is what it comes down to. So there's a gentleman by the name of Todd Rogers, a legend in video games. You can look him up. Put Todd Rogers the gamer on Wikipedia to get the most general information on him. Back in the 80s, Todd Rogers used to be hired by 42 publishers, from Activision to Nintendo, you name them. All these different companies hired him. And he would go to events like CES, the expos, and he would display the newest video game that would come out. And they would pay him thousands of dollars a day for the 3-day weekend to showcase these games. On top of him doing that for the public, he would also set world records. And he set the first and the longest, it's not the first, but it's the longest video game record held today by Guinness, which was Dragster in the early 80s. The record is now 31 years old and it still isn't broken. Now, because he played games competitively, set world records, and got paid for it, that is the definition of a professional. And because of that, and because he has the Guinness record to prove it, he is, in fact, history's first professional gamer. When that came to light, Fatality had to then change that to the world's most successful professional gamer, because he could not use a title anymore. So I bring that up because we're going into relation with Empire Arcadia. Now, Empire Arcadia has its fair share of success in where it depends on what you compare it to. Are we the most successful gaming team there is? No, but we're up there. Now, are we the most winning video game team? Yes, because we were able to provide Guinness World Records with the documents for them to audit our battle logs that we've been saving for the last 10 years in competitive gaming throughout a multitude of 5 to 7 different genres in gaming, where we have won over 1,411 video game tournaments, 13 Evolution titles, 9 MLG championships, 2 World Cyber Game championships, a national championship from World Cyber Games, a CGS championship, you name it, from the local scene to the international scene, World Game Cup and more. Empire Arcadia has done it all. And we have a certificate adjudicated and certified by Guinness that took a year and change to do the research to audit the organization to then give that certificate. That is the problem with the journalists, any area of gaming. They don't do their homework. They give their opinion, and they try to use their following and the numbers on their YouTube and their Facebook and their Twitter to justify their opinion as fact, when the reality is it is just their opinion. A journalist never uses an opinion. Right. They citate everything. Everything is citated. That is to maintain their credibility as a journalist, and that is rarely done in any area of gaming. Period.
I did a video on that where I was talking about the code of conduct as far as a journalist. There is an actual code, a creed that they're supposed to follow if you call yourself a journalist. And you see the gaming industry is the only industry that can conduct themselves in the manner that they do and still call themselves a journalist. Like what you just said, an opinion, a journalist doesn't give their opinion. Journalists cover facts, and a journalist uncover news and expose it, but their opinion is left out of it. But a lot what we get is what they feel, and what they feel is touted as fact, and a lot of times what you see is them just regurgitating something they read somewhere else, or matter of fact, just like what Torrance got mad at, basically stealing another man's work and posting it as their work. So
the plagiarism in this
ain't that pretty much what happened to him? That's he put that.
I got to start that. I can unfold the whole freaking industry on some stuff, but it's like, I mean, it's a flat out joke, and like that's why I say that's why people used to try to call me a journalist, but I say no, I'm not a journalist, because everything I do is my opinion.
Right.
Everything I've done, and I've said it. This is my opinion. I don't stay. If a fact is a fact, is a fact. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. A fact is either you can 100% prove it wrong, or you can 100% prove it right, and it doesn't change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But people, they don't understand that. And that's another thing that hip hop gamer's problem is. He tries to boast his opinion as fact, but I don't think he understands what a fact is. A fact, like 2 + 2 is 4 is a fact.
Right.
2 + 2 = 3 is a fact. Yes, it's wrong, but you can 100% prove it's wrong. That's a fact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what a fact is.
Right. It's a fact that's wrong.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just like when you get your test and you get your math test or you get your English test or whatever, right? It say, which of these statements, which of these facts are true and which of these facts are wrong? I mean, or false. Which of these facts are true or false? It doesn't say which of these are opinion and which of these are, like that. It's which of these facts are true or false. Because even if it's false, it's still a fact.
Right.
Because no matter what you do to it, it's still either 100% wrong or it's 100% right.
Right.
Now, but like what he was saying, but journalists, they don't know how to be objective. They don't know how to be subjective.
Well, first of all, you can't say journalists don't know how to be objective and subjective, because they're not journalists.
Yeah,
a journalist knows how to be subjective, and the journalist does not use his opinion. They're just.
That's another thing I wanted to get on too. Maybe that's our problem, is that we consider them journalists.
I don't.
Well, I don't. We rarely have any journalists.
I'm just saying.
I can't think of a journalist off the top of my head. Sadly.
As far as in the gaming, and like I said, I try to be respectful across the board, but I like I told Hip Hop, no, I don't agree with a lot of stuff you say. I respect what you do. I respect what you have accomplished, but I don't believe we have any authentic, true blue journalists in the industry.
You know, so funny, the day someone decides to say, you know something, I got a couple $1,000. I just want to make an actual organization that's going to go do the fact checking here and blah, 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 and become actual journalists and so forth and blah, blah, blah. Like Vice Media, Vice.com. I don't know if you guys know about these guys, but Vice, they did an article on esports, like, the esports from the fighting game point of view. And, in their article, they published the article, right? And when they published the article, someone called out a discrepancy in their article. And they say, hey, when did what's the name of this thing? When did the Olympic Committee grant video games into their the 20-something Olympics? And the guy did the background check, found out that there was a mistake in it, and guess what he did? He changed it. He said, I apologize. Thank you for fact checking that for me. We found out that blah, 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 and they made the correction. That is journalistic integrity. Mm-hmm. They found out that they were wrong, or they misquoted something, or whatever the case may be, and they followed through and corrected, because their job is not to get hits. That's not why they're doing what they're doing. Their job is to inform the public of the information that they're talking about. Right. They want to inform the people. Now, journalism has been corrupted because in this information age, it is about how many people you get hits, because it's about advertising. It's not even about the news you're putting out anymore. That's why bad news sell. That's why people don't report good news on TV, because no one wants to watch good news on TV. People want to watch bad news. That's what people like watching. And the ad time that they sell in between it. It's really disgusting how we are as humans. But it's that this is the nature of the beast. And no one cares about the truth. They don't. They just want what they want conveniently that makes them happy. And what they want to be is entertained. That's why the greatest line in movie history is Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? Because we've been doing this for the last 5,000 years.
And okay. So with that being said, the understanding we all have come to is, yes, the gaming media is a joke.
It's a joke.
And people, inform yourselves, research yourselves, form your own opinion.
Google.
Stop running to people who say what you like. Sometimes it's good to listen to people that's saying what you don't like. It might be telling you something you need to hear. Something, there's a scripture that talk about, they have itching ears. What it's basically saying is they run to people who feed them what they want to hear. No matter if it's truthful, no matter what it is, as long as it sounds good to me and make me feel good about what I bought, I listen to you. And they could be saying nothing factual, but because it sounds good to you and if it bolsters what you like, you will listen to them, you give them your time, you sub to them. But the moment somebody try to show you something that might have might be based in some fact and some truth, some hard truth, if it ain't what you like to hear, you won't listen to them. So the industry is basically, like John said, catering to the people who are really in control, and it's us. We keep this going. Because the longer we listen to it, the longer we entertain it, and the longer we keep running to these individuals who give us what we want, instead of demanding them to give us what's the truth. Well, the truth is this game sucked, and Sony paid me to tell you it's good. The truth is Microsoft paid us for this. The truth is Nintendo paid us. Once you start getting there, and we start demanding, and we come together as a community and stop drawing these lines, and fighting these fake wars, then we can see a lot of these people get pushed out into real. Cause YouTube to me is a platform that like John was saying, there's a lot of people that can transition over and replace a lot of these idiots that's representing us now. But with that being said, man, I enjoyed this podcast. We going on almost 2.5 hours, man. So we've really been in it. And so I'm gonna let John give his last thoughts. I'm gonna let you try to give your last thoughts, and then we gonna sign out.
Basically it's just, man, just be yourself. If you're a one console owner, then be that one console owner. Talk about what you own. Talk about what you want to own. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like in order for you to talk about another system, that means you're bored with your system.
Right.
I just like, so just, and you, it's like, just talk about what you own. Be a gamer. It's about games. This is supposed to be about having fun. It's not about all the negativity. We don't have no stakes in these companies. If these companies all fell off, our life would still go on day to day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think because I fell into some of the stuff too, so I'm not just blaming everybody else. But we just gotta change. Or we keep saying we tired of the trash, but we the ones that keep putting the trash out there.
Right.
We're not putting the trash out there. We keep feeding them.
Yeah, we keep putting wood on the fire.
It's like if you go to M4G right now, this minute, what's the top 5 site? What's the top 5 articles? It's 1 negative Xbox article and 4 PlayStation articles. Is that all? Is that all this the news that's out there? No.
Yeah. Well, for them there is.
For them, it's not. That's all they want. That's all they want to cover. And because everybody flocks to the site, that's all they feed you.
And the reason why that's all they feed you is because those give numbers. That's why. And
well, my thing is like when I see the people on YouTube, like the people I named, I see a change. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I see a change. I also understand it's an age thing because a lot of people Like for us coming up, we seen the change. We adapted to the change. We adapted to all the different type of graphics, the different type of gameplay, the different controllers, the different systems, the different TVs, all that stuff. And I understand that from some young people's standpoints, all they had was PlayStation.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that. If they're from the PlayStation generation, from one OG to the kids coming up, enjoy y'all system. Like, trust me, there's nothing wrong with it. This is why I tell everyone they should just get all the systems, because like I've been playing video games for 32 years, and Nintendo does not provide every single answer. They don't. They do not. That's why you need diversity in your life. So I like playing the other systems and finding out what they have. Now, do I have a preference on which one I would like to play more? Yeah, I like playing Mario and Zelda. I like playing my Nintendo games. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to play the new Strider that's coming out. That doesn't mean I'm not going to play Titanfall. Like, what are you, crazy? These games are godlike. That's why I'm a Gears of War fan. I'm going to play these other games. Just keep your horizons open. Don't cheat yourself by chaining yourself to these one particular brands and then bashing the others. This is stupid. You do not win. That's what they want. And you don't want to give the industry that, man. Trust me, the consumer loses. We don't win that. We lose that.
Okay.
I'll let you finish. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go finish what you said, John.
But basically, I'm saying thank you for having me.
We're gonna have you back, John, for sure, man. You might well get ready for it.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. And, also, check me out. I'm not on STFU and Play no more. I still mess with STFU and Play, but I'm on fulleffectgaming.com.
Okay.
Man, just be real with yourself and stuff. Like, if you're tired of what you're seeing, then look elsewhere. There is hope.
Okay.
Hope is not all gone. There is hope. Just look elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen, cause like, I was trying to tell Torrance the same thing, cause when he said he was done with it, I was like, no, you're not done. Stop being done. Just change what we're doing.
Right. And I like I said, man, Tor got a voice, man. He really do. And like I said, talking to Tri, talking to you, and honest to God, talking to Tor, has changed me and how I look at stuff, man. I had to change. I had to really pause, and check myself, man, and be real with myself. Was I taking the Nintendo thing and my Nintendo passion just a little too far? Was I stepping off into fanboy and not just being a fan? I had to really pause. And once I paused and checked myself, I came back balanced. Like, I gotta look at this thing from a mature, I'm a grown man. I was getting caught up, like you said. We all get caught up in the noise, but I had to pull myself back out of it, man, and be realistic. So, I hope he come back, man. I hope he, just revamp his stuff and come back and, cut off all the dead weight and add who we need to add and go forward, man. Cause I think he's vital to what's going on, man. I really do. Go ahead. What you got to say, Tribe, before we get out of here?
I'm not familiar with who this gentleman is.
He interviewed you actually at PAX.
Oh, okay. So he was the tall one.
Yeah.
And I'm going to assume, John, you were the short one with the 3DS.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I can put two and two together. Oh, wow. He stepped away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He was tired of the nonsense? Oh,
yeah,
man.
The nonsense got to him, man.
You know something? I can't even blame him, man. I can't even blame him. Cause at one point when I was younger in my teens, I was going through the same thing. And I'm like, man, why am I even arguing? I'm like, forget about these people. Because I was like, this is stupid. Like, people be acting like they win in the Super Bowl. Dudes be watching E3 just to see who has the best press conference. And the person with the best press conference, they be cheering like dudes won the Super Bowl. You don't understand. You should see this fanboyism. They should come out with a crystal video game controller and say the winner of E3's press conference and just give it to that particular company so that you can hear the roar will probably be louder than the League of Legends World Championships. Like, it's stupid. That's how fanboyish this has gotten. And the industry is milking it, and they are milking this bad, because that's how many actually, you know something? I'm not going to call him foolish. I'm not going to call him stupid. I found the proper word for this. That's how many overzealous fans that there are out there. The guys have gone way over the deep end. There's nothing wrong with being passionate. There's nothing wrong with being a fanboy. But when you become an overzealous individual with anything that you do, that's why it's called over. You're overdoing it. You dudes need to stop. You are not getting it. You do not win championships for this. Like, come on, man. Just behave yourself. What can help, in my opinion, is you had mentioned something, Level, Ed. Yo, we need to somehow, the OGs of the scene that raised up into this on some real, like, we raised in this on a level of like, this is what we've done. Gaming is a lifestyle. I tweeted that not too long ago. It's a lifestyle. The people who are raised in this, not people who are in the industry. There's one thing being in the industry. There's one thing being raised into gaming. My entire life has been about gaming. When people go, Triforce, what do you do? I'm like, video games. Don't you have a life? That is my life. Oh, that's sad. Well, maybe sad to you, but that's my life. And I'm proud of it. I have no qualms with it, no nothing. Miyamoto's entire life is games. That's his life. He has a family, and video games have taken care of him and his family and put food on their table and whatnot. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong or to be ashamed of. If you come from my generation, where people teased you and said, yo, what do you win? You win pro kids? Oh my goodness, yo, what do you do? Play video games? Oh, you a geek, man. Go get a girl. Go get a pair of Nikes or Reeboks or blah, blah, blah. And when you get older and you look back at it, you take a certain level of pride in the fact that this is what you grew up on and this is what you've been about. And when people start snapping on you, laugh about it because you're like, listen, we know who the poser here is. You are, because you only like this because it's cool now, because Sony made it cool for you. And that's the one thing I will give Sony props on. They made gaming cool. Before, no one was feeling video games. And then when Sony came in and they made the PlayStation, your CD player, it was cool to have it. So hold on for a second, gentlemen. One moment. Give me 1 second on this. I got someone on the phone. Hey, let me call you back in like 3 minutes. I'm about to finish up a podcast right now, okay?
Okay.
All right, I'll call you back. So, guys, that is my cue.
I heard
I gotta talk to my girl, guys, and everybody out there. The Level Up and Level Live podcast. Yo, peace.
All right, try. Right. But anyway, I'm about to get out of here. But John, I enjoyed you being on here, man. We gotta have you back, man. So you now name your site again?
Full Effect Gaming.
Full Effect Gaming. So is Torrance shutting down everything?
I don't know what he's doing, but when he said he was done with the industry, I was like, I took this. He said he was only gonna focus on things that he wanted to focus on. Like, so
right, that's what he
basically it's not. So basically, he ain't gonna be making as much content as what he's gonna do.
I got you.
So as far as me doing it, I was like, well, I can stay focused on something that somebody else don't want to be focused on, or I can focus on me.
Right.
Nothing. But when he decides he wants to get back, I'll be ready.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I follow, but I didn't know how deep it went. But so it's fulleffect.com.
Full Effect Gaming.
Fulleffectgaming.com. Y'all remember that? I'll put that in the descriptions too. And this has been the Live and Level Gamers podcast. Hopefully we'll have Mr. L Live back on the next show. And stay tuned. We will have the Black Baron will be our next guest. And if John want to come back, man, you're more than welcome to come back and shoot the breeze with us again. So, till next time, like, subscribe, and continue to follow. Deuces.
Peace.
Mr. L Live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L Live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled. Boy leveled. Mr. L Live. Mr. L Live and that Mr. L Live and that boy leveled. Boy leveled, boy leveled, Mr. L live and that boy leveled, boy leveled, boy leveled.
What it do, people? It's your boy Leveled Head with my partner,
Mr. Live 08, coming to you again.
And this is the Live and Leveled podcast, man. This is something new. We trying to do a joint venture. You know what I'm saying? Two intelligent minds going back and forth over this gaming news and this gaming business. You know how it is. So, anyway, go ahead, bro.
Well, you know, let's get to it. We wanted to talk about the upcoming games for the Wii U. Since everybody says the Wii U has no games, you know, that drought is over. We've got massive games that's coming out from first party and third party. You know, the first one we want to talk about is Pikmin 3. I know a lot of people pick Pikmin 3 up. I haven't picked it up yet, so I'm kind of on the fence, but I just talked to my boy Levelhead, and he told me, you know, it was straight, so I might have